spells and unique features and all that good fun stuff you have as we return to the world of Exandria, where after 3 long years, the party of great adventurers, the Nightingales, are returned, and it is time for them now to set things right once more. Well, actually, let me hop on video as well as is usual. There we go. All right, so everyone, we start as always with a brief recap of last time. Well, you all mark down your inspirations. Yes. Last time, after 3 long years, having been freed from the Eternal Puzzle Box, the two parties, the rescuers and the heroes, as we can sort of classify them, fought against the forces of Lothan, Trent, Ikaton. The battle was long, and we managed to eventually sort of escape by flinging ourselves off of a route of Yggdrasil into the mid-planar space, where from our wizard Alondra managed to fling us through with portal magic back to the Summer Court, where the party, both of them that returned, gained a boon from the Queen of the Seelie, and left the Feywild after pardon, Alondra shared her incredible knowledge of the spell which can counter the red mist, the corrupting essence of Lolth, the Queen of Spiders, that has been slowly transmuting the minds and bodies of various persons and monsters that we've heard has been seeping over these 3 years into our world of Exandria, as well as to the prime material realm. So, having left it behind, we said goodbyes to some of the individuals that decided to stay in the Feywild as well. We said goodbye to Sintra. We said goodbye to Geminara, and then, surprisingly, to Nizlik as well, who decided to stay so he can bloody his fists against the servants of Lolth, since he didn't get quite a chance to wallop the wild goddess when she originally sort of attacked us. Returning back with the sort of the hero party was, of course, Klaus and Merrick, who sort of went off their own ways. As we arrived through teleportations from the Fey Realm into Dwendalian Empire and the Kryn Dynasty, kind of separated for a moment, where we kind of touched base with some old allies and friends and read through our mail and sort of teleported back and forth until we ended up together. We got some proper rest, finally, at our home here in Rossona, the capital of the dynasty. And now with the summons from the Shadow Hand, Essek Thalis, Varen's brother, we are about to learn sort of what transpired in the last 3 years and what our next mission will be now that we are capable and rested once more. So, friends, as we return, looking through some of the letters that arrived for us back at our home, a carriage has arrived outside, drawn by well tended to and saddled moorbounders. Our sort of ride is ready to take us to our next destination. As we are sort of exited on, last thing we sort of ended on a little bit was, I think, Talion looking over like, oh yeah, dragon statue that we dragged out of hell. I never did anything about that. That's just sort of like sitting there petrified still. As you guys hop on in, is there anything else we're like, hold on 1 second, carriage driver, I gotta do a thing real fast before we go meet with, like, the head of security for the entire country, yeah?
Can I finish my breakfast? No.
You see Talion just like performing his chronology magic, trying to like turn back time on the food to make sure it's nice and steamy and fresh out of the oven.
Mm-hmm. What a useful skill to have. My God, I would kill to have that in real life. Just, wow. My
Are we
burger's
having
fresh.
leftovers? Technically,
Not anymore.
but not
Yeah.
really.
So, once you eat the food, what happens when you turn back to time? Does it like
Well, no, it
come
doesn't.
back?
He doesn't turn the food back in time inside of his body. Just the stuff that hasn't been eaten and has gotten like cold. He reverses
know,
it
but
to a point when.
So what if it's
Uh-huh.
like half eaten though? Does it like come back?
No, it doesn't generate like more mass. It just for that particular object. So if it's like a half-eaten burger, it'll reverse time for that half of the burger that's on the
interesting.
plate.
I want to cast resurrection on somebody that's eating a steak.
Oh no!
True resurrection on the steak.
Just a cow where a guy
Oh,
stood. All right, excellent. As you guys grab your food here, you see sort of leaping through the kind of kitchen, preparing some like quick snacks to go if you guys need them. Is Dreza, the sort of elemental monk orc woman who's our cook here? You see Isbil like, ladies, and here's your coats and your shawls and your boots. It's getting quite cold outside. You might want to bring an extra umbrella just. He's sort of giving you stuff here, as Tizora is in attendance nearby, just so like there to hand your coats and your boots and whatever. As you guys,
do you have like a nice box that I could use?
we can purchase one if you do not like the ones that we have here already. Do you mean like a jewelry box or just like a storage, like a large wooden box or?
Jewelry box would be fine.
Yes, I'm sure. He calls over to Tizora. She runs off and comes back with about like foot long and like half a foot wide little like jewelry box. This good enough?
Perfect.
So he hands you this.
I'm gonna take that box and I'm gonna reach into my bag now and pull out the Luxon shards that I recovered from the fight with Talion's former mentor. Person, abuser, tormentor, whatever he was.
Spell power.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put them, arrange them in the box nicely, and shut it, and I'll take that to present to the queen. I promised to bring back what I could.
You pack these up. You guys step on outside. You see the grandiose. As always, appearance of Rossona, the sky towers, the tall sky-high towers, the dark night that you step into. Even though it is at this point like 11 a.m., right? It is pitch black outside. It is full darkness where we currently are. You all kind of look on out, and as you see three of the sort of Aurora Watch individuals who are nearby staring on out to the blue moon that is kind of vaguely visible through the night's darkened, magically darkened night sky. Once again, Rossona, the ever so interesting Rossona. Dark red lights that burn on the walls and little chimneys sending columns of smoke gently up, where you see people walking around the streets, even here in the firmaments, in the sort of noble district. People are a little cautious, right? Everyone is kind of keeping their things very close to their chest, walking around, a little cautious, hearing about all kinds of strange things that have been happening. Now, of course, you guys are not kind of fully tied in. So as you are kind of riding on along, it's just you guys there in this very nice carriage, dark red velvety kind of cushiony pillows that you sit on, little table kind of separating the two rows that you're sitting in between, which has a little like a nice little wine bottle there and some like minor snacks or something you can sort of, and it's a short ride, it's like 20 minutes or something, but there is a moment here where we're like, okay, we're being invited to immediately probably go do something very dangerous by the sheer property of we are the only ones that can probably do it, right? Do we see any comments? Do we see anyone like, oh man, this again, gotta be a hero adventurer again? Or are we all like, this is who I am, this is what I do, people need saving, so that's why I'm here? Or do we see anyone like, God, I would want just a week to relax? Is there any, has death shaken any of your strength of will or mind? Are we right back where we were before we died?
I'll be honest with you all. I'm just an antique dealer. This is way beyond what I normally do.
Well, you're in the mix now, sister.
Yeah, I am. And it just keeps going. Is this normal? Is this what happened to you all? Like, did you just sort of get swept up into it and just went progressively worse and worse for you, or?
I mean,
It's kind of snowballed for me.
I didn't ask for, the red mist and all that came with it.
Fair enough. I just never thought I would be on this side of things. Operating. It's a interesting moment of reflection that I've had the chance to do.
Remember you told me you'd help me kill a god? Let's do that.
At the time, like when you're sort of in the heat of the moment, right? And you say things that are grandiose, like a grand gesture, right? Was not necessarily meant at the time is like a literal, let's just go kill a god. Because normally people think about that from a logical standpoint of what the fuck am I ever going to do to be able to challenge a god? That's not to say that I won't help you. I'm just, reflecting on, where it was to now staring down the proverbial blade of the reality that I'm about to help kill a god.
Alondra just has one eyebrow raised.
Those were a lot of big words. Can you dumb it down for me?
Oh, yeah. I was talking, just saying things at the time to, be poetic, and how I was speaking with Alondra. I did not actually think that I would be going to really kill a god. I figured it would be maybe we do some sort of small task for somebody that would take care of it. Bigger, stronger people. Maybe like an angel or something. Did not think it would actually be us stabbing a god. That's not to say that I won't do it.
I mean, I didn't either, but I'd love the chance.
In my opinion,
It's not gonna,
has inflicted a great deal of injustice and pain, not just to the dynasty, but to all of Exandria. And I doubt the dynasty will be enough to satisfy her cruelty and bloodlust.
Here's my...
If our experience with Trent, he has greater ambitions from just beyond the Empire too. And
Probably.
from where we are, we're what stands between them and all of Exandria. And I consider it an honor that we are the ones who will stop him. Them.
Here's a question that I have, and this is something I've learned from my time helping the assembly and Ludinus. When you take something on the magnitude of a god, right? We'll even go a step below it. A magical resonance crystal, things that are used to sometimes house little motes of magic and whatnot. Usually they come in a set, right? There's, typically speaking, one for each school of magic that is set up so that you can operate within a test parameter. These things keep balance within the test area. If one of those breaks or is discarded and done away with, things get out of balance. You're either short a piece of everything to keep stuff in check, or it all has to redistribute somewhere else. If we kill a god, what is the ramifications of that? And I'm not saying that she doesn't need to die. I just want to know, are there plans for what happens when that much power is released from a being of that magnitude dying?
It happened during the calamity, right?
Look what happened to the world.
All I know.
During a terrible event that happened many thousands of years ago, a bunch of gods stepped out onto our realm again, and to this day, we don't have information of what happened. The devastation was so cataclysmic that we barely have any records of what happened. We know names and vague things. Some libraries and skilled scholars know a bunch, but a lot of people still have no fucking clue what happened back then.
There was a war, shit happened, gods were active, the world is still recovering.
Well, this here place we are in, Jorhas, is the scar on the world left by the dead gods. Rossona, or Gordranus, as it was called before, also in Draconic, known to you guys as Gordranus means gathering in shadows. Was the headquarters where all of the betrayer gods, except for the Chained Oblivion, because he wouldn't play nice, were met together to dominate and destroy the world from. This is where they sent their wave of darkness from, right? We are standing in the crater of an ancient empire of evil. So yeah, the idea is kind of been hearing a lot about this grand arrival ever since we started this adventure, and it seems that after many clever battles and delays that we imposed upon Lolth and her plans, we might now be closer to it than ever.
I guess, is killing her the wisest option? Would not just be ensuring that she stays where she is be overall better for our world? Terrible as she is, she does have a place in the cosmological side of things.
Right now, she is trying to come to this world and inflict the same horrible evils that she and her dark brethren did thousands of years ago, and is using Trent as a mortal vessel right now to inflict those evils. If you don't feel comfortable wanting to kill the Spider Queen, Lucina, let's focus in on Trent then.
Oh, Trent's as good as fucking dead. Don't worry about that. That man, I will have his head, and I will take it back to the Empire.
You and I are gonna have
You
to
bring
fight
an
over
interesting
Get
point
in
up,
line.
though, is how did she even get past the Divine Gate into the Feywilds themselves?
Feywilds are not covered by a divine gate. Coralon also lives in the
Oh,
Feywild.
that's right.
It's just
So
us.
does the
It's just Exandria.
Oh, yeah.
As the
Yeah.
Moonweaver as well, yes. They live in the different parts. And I will also
Interesting.
mention an interesting thing. I believe, Alondra, you are proficient with the religion, as well as Ayla. I believe both of you are.
I'm religion, yeah.
Is anyone else? Or do I have the two?
Hey, let me pop open. I think Alcina's.
I think you're an Arcana
Yeah.
person. I don't remember if you had religion.
Where did my character sheet go?
I told you it's
Where
gone.
am I?
Yeah.
I
Wait,
thought you were
what-
playing
what's
some.
that?
I thought you were playing some trick. Like you're gonna be playing another character. I was like, this
No,
chick
no, no.
doing this nonsense again.
No.
Where's our character sheet?
I see Sintra.
Well,
Yeah,
it
you're
should be in the
completely gone.
characters, in
Oh,
the
there-
characters folder.
There I am.
What the heck?
There's
I
the
can't
two
see
folders.
it.
There's backup rescue team and there's the characters folder.
Oh,
Your guys'
yeah,
original characters are all in
so-
the characters folder.
Jen sent me a picture where she couldn't see it because like
I can't
normally
see
we can
it.
see everybody.
I still can't see it either.
Oh, sorry. Right. Sorry, because your character sheet, because you were editing it and stuff and doing some stuff with it before. I
Mhm.
made it so it's only visible to you. I'll make it visible forever. Well, just
Oh,
like in
okay.
the list there. There you go. You should be there now.
I thought she was
That's-
doing some shenanigans again.
No,
I was like,
no,
what
that's
is
not
this
it.
shit?
no.
I remember it was hidden when we were doing the Kara thing when she was running around.
By,
the city
by the
hidden.
way, the default like show to all players color for me, the DM, is a little I think blue, and your personal
no.
color in Roll20 is some kind of blue as well. And my colorblind ass did not notice those are different at all. So I was like, yeah, that's the same
That's
fucking
funny.
color. Let's just.
I sent Zach a
Oh,
message. I was
okay.
like, I think Alcina's gonna ditch you after you got engaged.
No.
Her
Oh
name
my
is not on
God.
her sheet. Her name's not on her sheet. Why is the name not here? She's making another character.
Wow.
And I told her that would
Jen-
start
Jen
a lot of
goes-
just-
Dude, I was like,
Stop.
oh.
Jen votes. Jen immediately votes over every single possible choice and goes to the most dramatic one at the very end. Amazing.
No,
Yes,
no,
yes.
I'm
But
saying-
I was gonna say no religion for you, right, Elcina?
no, I have a religion.
Oh, you do? Okay. Those of you professional religion also think of something, a very unique sort of aspect of this problem here. We're dealing with many powerful minions of a god. And sort of some of you guys mentioned, like, what if we have to fight the god? Quite literally fight the god. Well, that would be a epic battle of historical proportions, but also it would be an impossible battle because gods cannot be killed. As long as there is even a single person worshipping the god, believing in what they stand for, the god will survive. Their bodies or avatars might be destroyed, but to destroy a god, you would need to find and kill every single one of their followers. Because gods here are less so a person with a personality, more of them, think of them more of like as a concept. How do you kill Lolth, who is jealousy? Who is malice, who is envy? How do you kill jealousy and envy? It's nearly impossible, right? But those of you who are proficient in religion do know that in the past, there's been times where gods have lost a lot of their power. One of the weakest gods in the pantheon is one of the weakest gods in the pantheon is Sarenrae the Everlight, and that is because like 70% of her followers died in the same exact instant during the calamity, where Asmodeus, the Lord of the Nine Hells, the Lord of Betrayal, betrayed Sarenrae, who was trying to sort of redeem him. And the pain he inflicted onto her blasted through so many of her followers, killing them on the spot, permanently weakening the goddess by like 80% of her divine aspect, of her divine power. So you guys, thinking on it, you think to yourself, like, Lolth is probably mad at us way more than we realize, because we were directly responsible for the destruction of Doomeran, the biggest citadel and a place of worship of Lolth. That shit burned down. She lost massive chunk of her followers, of her power, right? And the gods are only as powerful as the sort of number of people worshipping to them. So yeah, this is personal, but can't kill a god. Can banish them, though. You guys were trapped in an eternal puzzle box. Apparently you can trap gods as well in some way. You've heard that the chained oblivion is bound, unable to escape. There's other means.
I think that Ayla has been looking out the window, looking at the moon, and just been listening to them, but hasn't really talked. She has been completely shaken by the death of everyone.
Yeah.
But she's listening to them talk about it. And she's trying not to get involved in the conversation. But she'll just say, we can always trap it like Thurston. I mean, that's probably the best bet. I mean, I agree. I don't think we can kill her. So, as much as we want to.
Something we can discuss at a later date, but I think we're keeping the Shadow Hand from our debrief, and from what we saw from the fires coming from Balthazan, don't think we can wait much longer to see what's happening.
No, we're not keeping him. We're riding that direction now.
Yeah, this is during the like carriage ride that you guys are talking.
It's not my fault this carriage only goes 1 speed.
Traffic jam. I'm so sorry, ladies and lords. Come on, move! And they're trying to get them past people.
And Bazuzan is a trap. Doesn't make sense that all of a sudden Varen is free, and now that same priestess is in Bazuzan, the place where he normally is guarding.
Call me crazy, but would it maybe be pertinent, or would it be frowned upon to use this consecution as a failsafe in case something happens to us?
I don't know how it goes
Ayla,
with picking people to be consecuted. I don't know how it goes. I don't know who they pick.
I was going to say, Ayla, you actually know a good deal about this. You've spent a lot of time sort of researching and kind of believing and putting your faith out into the Luxon as well, becoming your sort of one of your twin deities of sorts. That is an incredibly dangerous idea, because what could happen, and what has happened in the past as well, where Luxon is the biggest enemy of Lolth. That is the most, where she is darkness, it is light, right? And it gives this like eternal rebirth and life to people. What has happened in the past before, and this is a pretty tragic story that you have heard about, probably from the Sky Sibyl Mirim, right? The highest, most powerful cleric of the Luxon, is that it's very secretive. And you were told like never to tell this to anyone, but you know the story that Quana Kryn and Leylas Kryn had a daughter together, and that daughter was consecuted. And then Lolth corrupted and infested the child, mutating it and turning it into a Drider at the age of like 6 or 8, right? Turning into a Lolth-sworn monster that almost killed both of them. This was all kind of hush-hush and done in secret. It was done away with, but the problem with it is like they had to try to cleanse it or destroy the now demonically possessed child away from the beacons of Lolth, or the beacons of Luxon, so that demonic soul wouldn't go into the Luxon. What if the same happens to someone here, right? What if you get consecuted, captured by demons, possessed, and then killed? So what soul goes into the beacon?
I read the comic because I have it, and she basically she basically didn't die. They thought she died, but she's still out there. The child is still out there. They just don't know.
That's probably the part that's probably Miriam doesn't tell you about that part, right? She tells you like it was like an it was like extreme measures had to been taken. Yes, you would think your ending of that story is like, and unfortunately, extreme measures had to be taken, regrettable as they were. The Luxon is the thing that holds up an entire nation. We simply couldn't risk it. It was the most difficult choice our queen has ever made. That's the end of the story that you know.
Yeah, she wouldn't tell them the story, but she would tell them, the consecution, you can't choose when you come back. So if we died and we're consecuted, we could come back 400 years later and everything could be gone. So being consecuted is, yes, you could come back, but we don't choose when we come back. The Luxon chooses. And we don't choose where we are. We can be reborn, someone take the beacon and go to the market, and we're born all the way over there. And it wouldn't be years before we actually get our memories back.
Well, that just makes it seem less exciting.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, you're dead. We put you in another body. You come back tomorrow. We do not decide. It happens whenever. It happens when the Luxon chooses to release our soul into the body.
Also a very sort of fun aspect of Alcina as a human, like we can just reborn. And then Ayla as an elf who's like, yes, somewhere during the time of now to eternity, which I can
Yeah.
wait for, but you can't.
I mean, yeah, eventually you do see your loved ones again. Or maybe you don't, because you never know. They come back and then now you're gone. So it's kind of not really like.
It sounds more like you create your own level of hell than you create some sort of thing worth doing.
It's why they keep it to a very small amount of people, right? Because imagine if they filled it with every person that's here in the dynasties. Everyone is consecuted. I don't know how much the Luxkin solos can hold, to be honest with you. That could possibly be another reason why they don't. And it would be chaotic. Can you imagine? Your neighbor next to you gives birth, and it's the person over here's daughter, and then that person gives birth, and it's someone else's son. It's just a chaos. So
Isn't that what happens anyways? Like,
sort of.
so what you're saying is, say, Odo and Ilivare, someday down the line, they have a kid. There's a good chance that that kid is not actually theirs, but, fucking Talian's great-great-grandfather.
It could be. I mean, there are ways to prevent that, I'm sure. You can
Yeah.
have your child in not the same plane.
Yes, by
where the
blood,
Luxon
not
is.
by soul.
So there are ways to prevent it, I guess, but what I'm saying,
casts a pretty big
that can't
net,
be an
Luxon,
option.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, these souls that are incarnate, it casts a pretty big net, like almost like 100 miles across, right? Where people are born, they can be born with these Lux and born
So-
souls, right? So
What happens to the original person?
They're still there. It's like they don't lose themselves. It's just like they have memories of someone else there. They still have all their memories when they grow up with their parents and things like that.
But aren't they
I don't-
expected to become the other person at some point?
Don't know. I mean, we really don't talk too much about that in prayer. And I really haven't talked to Varen about it, because of
I
all
mean-
the things that have been happening.
I think the more accurate thing is that you're no longer the person you were or the person that you were born into. You're someone new in between.
Maybe you can decide.
Alcina, just because of your... I was going to say, Alcina, just because of your level of intellect, I think you have a thought here, being kind of an outsider to this religion. You think to yourself, like, that sounds kind of interesting. However, that sounds like you're either wiping away someone's mind and planting yours in there, or if it is two memories and two sort of two minds melding together, that's a lot of memories to hold in one head. Huh?
Yeah, that,
Well, I mean, it's memories from when you're born to possibly like 10 years old.
yeah, but what happens over time? Right? Like, if what they say is true, that when you die and you get reborn, that you have whatever life experience you will pick up plus whatever you had, and then just keeps going in a cycle. Eventually,
Jen, why don't you...
there's not
Oh,
much
sorry,
more room for anything else. What happens?
Jen, give me a retroactive, like 3+ years ago from this moment, little, I think just straight wisdom roll. This is basically persuasion for clerics. You talking, having a conversation with the Sky Sibyl, and let's see if you would know about something we out of the game know to be what exactly happens, but let's see if Ayla actually knows. Oh, shit, welcome back, Ayla. New year, new Jen. Let's fucking go.
2026.
Absolutely. 2026.
First roll
Let's
crit, hell
go. Nice. Yes, confining in you, Sky Sybil, Abria Miriam would have told you that there is something. Sometimes a mind is not strong enough to hold all of these memories. It happens way, 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 way down the line where the reincarnation becomes unnatural, aberrant. At that point, the person is no longer allowed to reincarnate because they have something, a sort of disease of the mind. And she spoke about it in a elven word that you would understand, which does mean typhos, which quite literally means that. It means a sort of like exhausted mind, corroded mind. But also, this is like, you, me, and 12 other people know this, so if you say something, I'll know.
It's very complicated, and I can't really talk too much about it. You know, I'm not really good at lying, so I'm not gonna lie or anything like that. I just can't talk about it. It's
Why can't you talk about it?
because it's, you know, you are not part of the religion. I guess it's kind of kept under wraps on the people who are deeply in there, and I still
So-
don't know much about it. I'm still learning, as you know, I'm still new myself, so there are some things that I really don't know too much about, and some things I have to research, and things that are said, but people could say things, and I don't know if they're true or not until I actually see it.
That sounds like a very unappealing secret.
Well, I mean, you had a lot of unappealing secrets, but you don't see me asking you about them now, do you?
Ask away.
I don't care to
Okay.
ask. That's the point.
I only ask because my life is based on insight and studying and asking questions. And if there's ever anything about me you want to know, I'm more than willing to share, given our new partnership and how things have progressed. Since we are no longer Empire versus Kryn trying to operate slightly together, and now we are Empire and Kryn working together, I don't mind sharing.
The Luxon and the religion of Luxon. There are so many unanswered questions. There's so many things that we don't know. What could happen could possibly one day not happen if we figured out a better way to do it. So that's why trying to answer that question doesn't make sense right now. It could be something that we just haven't figured out yet to make what happens not happen. Does that make sense? And maybe, you know, that could be something that I can really work on. How can we help people who are consecuted? You know, how can they survive and thrive and, you know, maybe make it better for everyone?
I guess that answers my question in a weird way.
You begin to hear the sound of many metallic boots walking on by as a cadre of guardsmen of the Aurora Watch is walking on by more often and frequent patrols as you're beginning to see the tall metal gold tinted and gilded gates of the palace here in Rossona as you have arrived at the Lucid Bastion, or you will in a few minutes. You realize if you wanted to have any further conversations, this is the time to sort of finalize them.
Well, how do I look? My best beat up antiques dealer appearance.
Are you trying to look beat up? Is that the goal?
No, I just don't have anything nice that fits me this size. The difference between real Alcina and Kara Alcina is quite a bit different. Like Alcina has armor and her utility gear. Kara has an illusion of a very pretty dress that she wore.
I mean, you can always. Couldn't you have the bracelet? Couldn't you make your armor look different? I mean,
don't
if you
think it
want
works that
to.
way.
You don't want it to look like that.
I mean, it's the appearance of that is in here is kind of hard programmed into it. It doesn't really like put the ring on. I'm Kara. Take the ring off. I'm me. I can't really make it do one or the other.
Just go in as you. It's, you know, no need to hide.
I mean, I don't think you look bad. I mean, we all just came back from being dead. I don't think they're going to judge us on how we look, really.
Yeah, no.
Good. Excellent. As we see the carriage sort of pull in, driving, sort of getting it into the gates here, we see the tall gardens, these like arches of beautiful vegetation, flowers, and these greenery that has grown here. Strange, sort of dark purplish kind of tint to them pears and apples that grow only here in these gardens. As you see many sort of servants kind of tending to these, walking on by often are very keen-eyed patrols of the Aurora Watch. As the door slowly opens, we see exiting first there Captain Talion, and you see a bunch of these soldiers immediately salute. Hail, Captain! Welcome! As the rest of the party begins to kind of slowly pour out. They show you all very much so bows and sort of salutes of respect. Hail, heroes! As you see an individual, a sort of like a middle-aged, what looks to be like a bugbear woman dressed in the Aurora Watch sort of outfit. She says, Captain, name is Sergeant Ragna. I am here to take you to the meeting. The esteemed members of the court, a few of them are waiting for your briefing.
I give them a nod of understanding. Lead the way.
They sort of gesture to all of you, bow deeply, and they start leading you guys. You don't go into the sort of main gate where the palace enters. You sort of walk a few hundred feet off to the side in the courtyard where there is a massive sort of barracks-style building where you see there's no training being done here usually. Except this seems to be some sort of like a magical training facility for the army, for the Aurora Watch, where you see a few of these Dunamancers who are sort of bending gravity in time. You see an individual who's currently practicing in one of the rooms down this hallway that you guys walk. You're kind of going down a hallway and up the stairs, but as you pass some of the doors here, you see a mage who's trying a little spell, and he's holding this little like a three-legged stool sitting on a table, and he kind of bends his hands around it, and you watch it almost like this smear effect as the reality bends and the chair's wooden legs begin to kind of bend and twist as he lets go of it. The chair that's there, the stool, kind of vibrates and shakes for a moment and then snaps violently back into space as he takes a half step back. He flips through a few pages of his book as you guys continue. Few of these like arcane knights, individuals who know a little bit of magic of dunamancy and a little bit of like blade skill kind of mixed together, very powerful, potent combatants walking on by, giving you guys kind of nods, and you're led up to a second floor. And there's a massive doorway, a room that leads beyond there. The door is currently open as a conversation is being had by a handful of individuals. As you guys all kind of walk in. And this bugbear woman gives a little salute to everyone, and then sort of steps back, allowing you to have whatever conversations you are about to have. And you see turning to sort of look at you all there. In this room currently are 4 individuals. First, you hear kind of talking to you immediately is the Shadow Hand, Essek Thalis, who turns to you all levitating just a few inches off the ground, and he looks on out and says, our great heroes have arrived. Please, come. The door kind of closes. You see on the opposite side from him, gigantic, fucking 9'7", gigantic black-furred minotaur in like black ebon armor. You see the general of the great portion of the army here, the Sunbreaker Olaman. Look out to you all, and he just sort of huffs and nods his head once at you all. On the opposite side, sort of further down the table currently, holding a small kind of scrying orb that she's looking into. You see a small goblin woman with a perpetual sort of frown on her face, long kind of graying hair on her, as you see Sky Sybil, Abriana Mirim, who sort of looks up to all of you, gives a little nod, and then sort of gives a pointed look over to you, Ayla, and gives you sort of a welcome nod.
She like happily waves to her.
She just sort of stares. She looks back into her orb. As the last person sitting at the sort of head of the table here, as if sort of organizing this meeting here, is a person who is seemingly doing a lot better after her wounds have somewhat passed, having woken up properly, being able to act properly. You see at the end of the table their long, kind of silvery white hair, black armor, red blade tinted with like runes on it. You see looking at you all, still in sort of like state of recovering after a deadly wound was struck to her. You see the Dusk Captain, Quana Kryn, who looks amongst all of you here, and she goes to sort of stand up, but kind of flinches a little bit. She's doing better, but there's still some wound of a powerful poison that inflicted onto her long ago. She says, welcome. Welcome, everyone. I know that we've disturbed your well-deserved rest, but we find ourselves in a situation where rest is not an option for any of us in this chamber. Thank you for coming to attend this meeting, first of all. Please, sit. And you see many chairs that are sort of available at this, like, long table. This is sort of like a war room. There's a bunch of maps on the table. Shelves are covered in books with all, like, historical and geographical mentions of places and spots. As you see... looking around here, you see the Dust Captain Quanacrin say, that makes for the most of us here that are supposed to show up. The Task Hand, Varen Thalis, has already reported to me and to the Shadow Hand all of his findings, as he already finds himself preparing some of the troops that he has been reassigned to as their supervising officer and commander, to make their way back to a indebted duty of his, which is protecting and defending Jorhas from the bedeviled tower of Basosan, which is one of the discussions topics of discussion we are here to do today. She sort of looks across everyone, and she looks over to Talion and gives that same look of like respectful nod of like, welcome, Captain. As she looks to all of you and says, I have some information for you, quite a bit of it actually. As you might very well understand, you've been gone for some time, and the world has not waited on any of us. Much has happened in the 3 years you've been gone. I suppose we will begin. Essek, do you mind taking over? As she kind of holds onto her side and kind of sits down, and Shadowhand looks over and says, certainly, Dusk Captain. Yes, much has happened in the past 2 or 3 years. After about a year of your disappearance, well, within that first year of your fall, much battling was done between the dynasty and the empire still, with you all as a bulwark, as a rising hope amongst the peoples of Jorhas, which I don't know if you've realized just how much hope you inspired in the people of these, what some would call damned lands. You all actually provided. The Vandalian Empire got a lot of bravery in them, a lot of more inspiration to push their own agendas. Some of the strongholds, some of the sort of checkpoints between our two countries, our two kingdoms, the Rockguard and the Ashguard Guinnison, were lost and retaken and lost again a few times. And at one point, about a year or so into your disappearance, Asarius, the city of beasts, was under attack once more. We retook it some months after, but the battles continued around it. After about a year and 2 months is where this conflict of ours began to pale in comparison to what was coming for us. Invasions, demonic incursions begin to happen all over Wildemoun. Reports coming from as far as the Graying Wildlands and some very northern edges of the Menagerie Coast. Not to mention, here in the Dynasty, as well as in the Dwendalian Empire, multitudes of invasions. Multiple cults that have gathered and began to turn their worship to the Queen of Spiders, as well as all manner of seemingly thugs and dangerous roadmen that began to join the seemingly well-funded thugs under the service of the now corrupted mage, Trent Igathon. Here in the Dynasty and in the Empire, there has been 2 great rifts that have been opened. Direct demonic passages for the servants of the Spider Queen, of Lolth, that delve directly into the Demon Web pits, which is the demonic lair of hell, where Lolth, which Lolth calls her home, her plane. 2 of these rifts that opened. One opened here in Jorhas, and the other one opened just at a location that you all are very familiar with, north in the Zemni Fields. Here, just beyond the very western edge of the Penumbra Range, sits the Dark Tower of Bazzoxan. That has always been a point of many incursions and minor demonic invasions which our task hand dealt with on the weekly. Now it seems it has fully been overtaken and dominated by the powerful demonic servants of Lolth. She has been pouring forth with her blood and webs and magic, sending out all kinds of powerful monsters. It's been difficult. For some months now, we've been struggling. At first, the defense was solid, but as the countless forces of demons continue to pour out without the assistance of Varen, the Sunbreaker here, very diligently taking up to the duties of a task hand and defending Bazzoxan as best he could. And Alaman kind of looks to everyone and says, first 6 months were manageable, but then these things started to become clever, cutting off our supply routes, destroying any shipments of powerful artifacts or magical enchantments placed on weapons that would make it much easier to deal with them. They were sabotaging us, much more we would think demonic rampage-obsessed creatures to think to do. You see the Shadow Hand continue and says, the defense has been tenuous at best, which I suppose, in some way worked out for the ongoing war between the dynasty and the empire. About a year and a half into your disappearance, a summit, a peace summit was called, during which a agreement of temporary ceasefire was signed between the two kingdoms. The king, Bertrand Wendell, and the honorable queen, the brilliant queen, Laylis Kryn, met in person and agreed upon for the survival of both of our nations. It doesn't make us friends, and he looks over to Alcina or Kara at this point.
Oh no, she's
But
Alcina.
it makes us. Oh, she's Alcina right now. Very well. Looks over to Alcina, says, doesn't make us friends necessarily, but it makes us allies against a more vile foe. So, while we here have been defending ourselves from the forces of Bazzoxan emerging forth, deep in the Zemni field to the northwest, the place of your fall, Baseastil, the elven city in the snow, has been fully evacuated. The elves there have left their homes, and only those brave enough to defend the rest of the Pearlbough Wilderness, the vast forest that their home is surrounded with, as well as the entire empire, have stayed. Reportedly, many of the empire forces have been funneled there, as apparently the temple of the Moonweaver and Archheart that stood there in Baseastil has now been reopened as a form of a demonic incursion, a constant rift, much like the one in Bazzoxan, where we have gotten reports as of yesterday that the Archmage of what was once an Archmage of Cerberus Assembly, called Trent Ikathon, has been heading the operation there, allowing for this invasion to wash over their lands. While here, in Bazzoxan, suspiciously enough, similarly, yesterday, we have gotten reports of a sighting of a particular dark elven figure amass the demonic forces. It seems that while Archmage Ikathon leads Lol's forces from Baseastil in Bazzoxan, it is the matron mother, Viverk Ton, the very same one that you all slew atop the tower of Dumaran at the fall of the city, at the climax of the battle of the Strand and Blade. It seems that she has made some sort of a demonically infused return. Many battles have happened, and a countless of assassination and attempts at the lives of many high-station individuals in both the dynasty and the empire have happened to our reports. One of our dens, additional one, other than the one that was earlier discovered, another one of the dens, a minor den here in the dynasty, den Omrafar, was discovered to be a cultish operation of the Spider Queen as well, which they hid for some many decades. They were dealt with promptly. But, as I said, things have been very busy in your absence. Many have died. There has been mentions of invasions and demonic attacks all across the wastelands surrounding Asarius, the further south to the many hosts of Yggdrathod, reaching all the way down as to the Lotus Den Greenwood Forest, where a small village that has been seeking for our protection and allyship, a small place called Charis, as well as a temporary alliance that has been made with between the dynasty, the empire, and Zarzith Kithril, which is the stronghold of the Dragonborn survivors of the ruins of Draconia, far to the south as well. People are making allies by the property of need rather than convenience. Things are very dire. Many have been evacuating and moving to Rossona as the sort of final line of defense, which unfortunately makes it that much more difficult to get supplies to our troops that are further inland. Fear and betrayal are ruling the minds of many. That is as briefest as I can keep it to what has been happening in the last 3 years. Now, he kind of looks on over to the dust captain, expecting her to sort of like continue, but she sort of puts her hand up, sort of like let them drink it in, let them like hear and understand everything that was said. And there's this moment where they're all just sort of looking to you.
I'm sorry, real quick. There was a lot there. What was it about Charis thrown in the middle?
There was a mention of all of these demonic invasions. So apparently these demonic invasions are happening on both sides. He was giving you like our side, Jorha's side, and apparently the people of Charis, amongst many of these other like individual communities and such, the people of Charis have been asking for aid. Because they're not technically members of the Kryn dynasty, they were asking for sort of like an asylum, a sanctuary, a place of safety, and provide like some help to be given to them, as apparently they are dealing with some sort of increased levels of demonic threats there.
Are they still having problems with the Dretch?
You ask Shadowhand?
Yes. Are they still having problems with the Dretch? That is the original reason why I left, is to get better at skill to take out those Dretch. Charis is my land.
You see the dust captain kind of looks over to Essek, and the Shadowhand kind of sighs, and there's this like, you see this look, you maybe, I mean, you're a warrior, you fought most of your life, you see a look when someone is like about to deliver some possibly bad news to you, and they're sort of thinking it over in their head of like, how do I say this to this person?
Spit it out. Don't hold it back. I need to know what's going on.
He nods, says very well. Charis and the many individuals who lived there have been believed to us to have been fully wiped out about a year ago. However, reports came through some weeks ago that a small group of the individuals there have mounted a defense, have kept themselves alive deep within the forest, nearly overrun by all manner of, at first, minor demons, like Dretch that you speak of, but it seems that as these demonic invasions began, some sort of a understanding or overtaking has taken place between the forces of Lolth and whoever the demonic charge or leader of the Dretch within the Lotus Den Forest was, increasing the numbers of their forces and amplifying them to greater mass and strength, which seemed to have greatly overwhelmed what I believe to be a druidic, mostly, gathering of halflings that live out there. We thought they were all wiped out until we heard a report about 2 weeks ago.
And now they're calling for aid?
They've been calling for aid as well, saying that they are dealing with repeated increased numbers of all manner of demonic foes.
So, is there
Charis,
is there anything we can do for my people? Do I have to get on my hands and knees and beg to help them out?
You see Essex sort of looks over to you and says, well, things are quite dire now for all aspects of... And you see Solomon sort of slams his fist on the table. And Essex sort of looks to him, snaps. Everyone kind of turns to look at him. Solomon says, this is one of the finest warriors I've met in my whole many lives. Who has sacrificed more for this nation than most I know and have served with. I will personally, if no one else, ride out to protect what is his and return the favor, if no one else. Kind of saying it to the Shadow Hand. The Shadow Hand sort of stares. There's this moment when little sparks between them, right? Sort of staring at each other. The Shadow Hand says, I will look into it that some of our troops are dedicated to the protection of Charis, although we do not know, we don't have much information. It doesn't fall under our territory, making it a little more complicated, you must understand.
Maybe
Don't you
we
have friends in
can.
that region?
Yeah, maybe we can. Maybe we can talk to Zoria. She's really close to there with the Moorlands.
You see Shadowhand looks as Zoria, you're member of the Dolarav, I believe. You've reported before.
The high sky symbol of the Dollar tribe, by the way. I am her ambassador.
This could be a united front, then. I'm sure we can dedicate some of our forces to help them. After all, you're right. Mr. Lord Overborough is one of our highest standing heroes and warriors. It would be a great disservice to not do so.
We do what we can. I'd certainly appreciate it. And he'll look over to Solomon and thank you kindly very much.
You know,
He
Gran.
just
Gran
bows
would
his
love.
head.
Gran loves killing demons. You know that. He got so happy in hell. I'm sure he'll help too.
Can we get a hold of Ron and Zoria?
Yeah, I can send them a message.
You heard from them yesterday. You were talking to Zoria, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
Sending, yeah.
But she wasn't really getting used to the sending, so she's, I'll send her another message.
Oh, right.
It also sounded like she was fighting too. So maybe they're in trouble. Maybe we can go help, and then they can help in Charis.
I need to stick with you guys, with this group, to do what we need to do. But I need to make sure that my people are protected. Those who remain, we weren't many to begin with.
You see Solomon just sort of gives you a nod of like, I have great respect for everyone who carries a blade proudly. If it'll help, I will myself head this rescue mission or protection of your home. I've heard much, however, foul rumors about those woods, the Lotus Den. I've heard the woods walk. Is that true?
You're going to have to remind the player. I'm sorry.
It's been like a year and a half. But yes, the reason you sort of, something we mentioned before, Lotus Wood and Odo would know this. Everyone else knows it as like cursed demonic woods or whatever. But Odo, you and your people know it as, yes, very much so. In fact, your town of Charis, not town, it's like a small town / large village kind of a place, was in the middle of a vast field. And then a forest to the south, day by day, over like a few decades, started getting closer and closer. And then it was learned later on that there is some accursed aspect of the forest where at night you hear screaming of bark as the trees slowly stand up and move a few feet forward before planting themselves again. So your town eventually got sort of moved into a forest, like a forest moved around the town to obscure it, almost like a constrictor snake slowly wrapping the coils around its victim.
And Odo will share that and be like, "Yeah, that between that and the Dretch, that's why I sought to improve my skill. That's why I'm here. But now it seems like I can't go home and take care of it. My people are without me. So, Solomon, if you head out, that would be a great relief to myself.
He nods. It is decided then. I will fight in your stead until you are able to come home to your people. You see, Shadowhand looks over and says, Sunbreaker, I don't believe that would be the best use of your talents. We have many skilled captains and such. He said, I've given my word. My word is my bond. And they kind of look amongst each other, and the Dust Captain says, it's all right. That is a honorable oath to keep.
If I may.
Of course, Captain. Scout Captain.
Sunbreaker, it shows great character that you put such kindness and such valor into protecting Odo's homeland. But I'm concerned about the incursions coming from Bathazan. From what I witnessed transporting Alondra and Ayla and Alcina back from the edges of the Empire to here in Rosona, the threat is great. And I do not believe the Spider Queen is finished with her choosing of our hero, Varen. I believe it would be wise for you to go to Bathazan and aid the Tascan in taking back Bazelhan, while the Nightingale should lead the incursion in Charis with Odo leading us. Charis has long been wanting to receive protection from those in the dynasty, and I believe sending the dynasty's heroes and champions to liberate them from demonic incursion would be a great boon to pull them into the dynasty.
I would also like to say that the Dolorav have really want to extend an olive branch to try to be included but not included with the dynasty, and their aid would show a sign of good faith that they are very capable of being in aid when you need them without fully being invested with the dynasty.
You hear at this point the Sky Sibyl Mirim, the head most powerful cleric of the Luxon. The goblin woman has been sort of like gleaming the orb, like looking into this magical orb the whole time. She speaks up, says, the Dolarav and the Koshtask of the Iothia have made themselves our allies in the years past. That is true. However, they openly hold their hand out in friendship while refusing to believe in the same light that has saved us to save them. These are people that I'm certain we can sometimes rely in, but fully trust we can only do to those who bathe in the light of the Luxon. However, she points over. She says, however, and points over to Ayla here. Says, I have been shown in the last few years that even those who come from different views of the world can still be part of the light. I think this is a wise idea. And you see, Sunbreaker looks over to Talion. The Shadow Hand kind of narrows his eyes like, interesting. Talion, can I have you make a persuasion roll for this suggestion of yours? And this is less so against directly Oloman. This is against like Oloman and Shadow Hand, who are like, no, we have plans for you guys. And this guy is like, no, I swear my fealty and oath to do this.
If I might interject here real quick, some insight from a former enemy. If I wanted to take advantage of your greatest weapon to open up a weakness, we would pull at your heartstrings. We would get you to send the most important things to you, to the place where it is least needed. Now, I respect Odo immensely, but I think sending us to Charis, then Bazozan is obviously a much bigger and much more prized target for the Spider Queen. Would be a mistake that could set in motion something we could not recover from.
Shadowhand nods to this and says, I agree with Lady Alcina. This could all just be a charade of silk and web, a distraction over our eyes to keep us away from what is truly important. You hear Solomon kind of stand up and kind of yell out and says, these are people whose champion has stood for us. We will not just leave them to die.
No one is saying that we leave them. Take your gusto and sit for a moment. What we are saying is that you have people, yourselves, people in the moorlands that are more than capable of taking care of the situation. You don't need to send a trebuchet to crush a hut.
I mean, we could see if they can give them aid, like help them out, get them out of Charis until we can. I'm sure Zuria's people will be okay with your people being there.
Talion, can I have you make a persuasion roll with advantage here with the help of your allies?
I'm not helping. I'm speaking against the idea.
Right. I think this is, give me a persuasion here then, and I think the higher you get, the better, like, compromise between all of these ideas we will get.
Am I rolling straight or am I rolling, like...
I think Ayla sort of helping here, well, mentioning, like, the Iothia at least, will for sure give advantage.
Right. Persuasion.
$14. All right, not bad. You see the Sunbreaker looking around, Shadowhand sort of like arms crossed thinking about this. You see a hand raise. You see the Dust Captain, Quanah Kryn, who is the, by the way, head of all the military. She's the head of the Aurora Watch, right? While the task hand title that Varen has is like the champion, our like best hero, most powerful warrior that we have. She holds her hand out for everyone, and everyone kind of pays attention. She says, both very valid points. And we cannot fight a war on 10 different ends. I agree with the Sunbreaker here, and with Scout Captain. We cannot forsake people who are reaching their hand out for help. But I also agree with the Shadow Hand and Lady Alcina that this is a war of drastic measures, and every move must be measured carefully. So, how about we focus on both to the best of our abilities? Solomon, you will take a small group of the soldiers you trust the most with your life, and hopefully kind of looks over to Ayla, says, with the aid of your allies in the Iothia moorlands, together there will be hopefully more than enough to handle the demonic invasion around Charis. Therefore, respecting the presence of the Grand Duelist Odo here. And the rest of you, returned heroes, would instead honor us in helping focus on saving the rest of the lands of the dynasty here. Mainly speaking because Bazzoxan is only days away from our capital of Rossona here, from this very room we sit in. What happens in the next few weeks might be instrumental to how the pages of history books will be written for years to come. So how about it? Olomon and trusted allies from the Moorlands go to Charis. You all aid us in either two of the options that I will have to offer you, depending on your interests, knowing that all of you are from across not only Exandria, not only Wildemoun, but the realms beyond. The mission I would impart on you, or beg, perhaps even of you, and ask of you.
Congrats,
would to be
Lou,
either-
on your
either
shiny
help
Avalon.
close the Great
Marowak.
Rifts in Bazzoxan, or in Basea still. Closing either of these rifts will allow either us or our currently Dwendalian allies to aid in closing the other rift. I think you all have noticed how much of a force of nature all of you are. I am fully relying and believing in the ability of you all to deal with either Head Matron Viverkton or the Archmage Trent Igathon. It's just the call of which do you wish to focus on first. Both need to be achieved, but do you wish to perhaps focus on the Head Matron here in Bazzoxan, which would make assaulting the temple below Baseastil and Archmage Trent Igathon easier, or start there, and then when Lolth sends all of her forces here to Bazzoxan, make it an easier fight over here? That is what I would have to offer as a solution in between. You see Sunbreaker nods to that, like, very well, I am bound by my oaths, and the one to the dynasty I value just as deeply as one I gave to the duelist Odo. I will go to his home and defend it.
From what I understand of the situation around Baseas still is that anybody not lost has already been evacuated, and that the Empire and the Cerberus Assembly are doing everything they can at the moment to contain it from spilling out further. For the time being, the situation is not getting any worse than what it already is. But Bazzoxan, as it stands, is right on your doorstep, and a very active threat to the entire population of your city.
Exactly.
So it would seem, at least in my understanding, that Bazzoxan would be the logical choice in where to strike first.
As there is this like moment where everyone's kind of looking around the table, friends, out of character, stepping above the table here for a moment. The persuasion roll there in the discussion here is yes, they will send some reinforcements down to Charis to try to like hold off the demonic invasion that's happening there. We have some allies we can contact and ask to help as well, but we have to make a sort of crucial decision. Now, friends, this is one of those decisions that will have consequences no matter what you choose. But of course can be better or worse depending on how you perform going forward. Bazzoxan and Baseastil have two massive rifts that hordes of demons are coming through every day, right? The invasion of the continent. Choosing to go to Bazzoxan or Baseastil to rescue either of those places by closing these portals will have some significant impacts on the other location where you guys weren't present, right? So, and it can't be one of those things like, well, let's split the party and send them over here. You guys united together are probably strong enough. Separated, the flaws that you guys make up in one another by your powerful bonds of allyship and friendship will begin to show and tear at the seams. Right? So there is an important choice out of game here. There's an important choice to be made where we start. Which of these two locations we go to first. This is one of those times in the video game where it's like, you're about to make an important choice. Would you like to save the game? Right? One of those moments. So, back in the room, back in the table, or above the table if you guys want to discuss like how we should do this.
Can you remind me? It's been a really, really, really long time, but there was some thing with Bazozan way, way back when we were dealing with like the Shadow Fae figure, and like there was like this tower there or something. My memory's a little fuzzy, but I remember something.
Above the table for a moment. Yes, you do remember that. There was a villainous figure called the Shadow Fae that we've been chasing, who's this like shadowy Fae sort of individual who was greatly tied to Emily's character, like backstory and stuff like that. So that all got kind of like
I didn't
moved
know that.
away, and the
Oh, really?
that was connected to those like hag things while she was around and stuff like that. So a lot of that got sort of kind of moved away slightly as Emily stepped away from the game, right? So that is something that probably Morgana is dealing with out there somewhere on her own, right?
Oh,
But you heard that
interesting.
like this like demonic Fae individual like emerged from Bazozan, like attacked the tower or something like that. That has nothing to do with what's happening to us.
Okay, because I was like, because I thought the Shadow Fae had something to do with my brother. That's why I was like, that's why I
There
thought
was
it
there was like a brief mention of connection, but less so, more so with the Red Mist here. Which, by the way, you still haven't heard anything about him in a very long time.
I'm aware. Uh, so I was just curious because I remember that tidbit, and I wasn't sure if it was relevant.
That's cut content, right? Because the player who was connected to it got sort of removed from the game.
Okay, good to know.
They left the
Doesn't
game.
have to weigh into
Yeah.
my decision making here. Okay.
All good, all good. Yep. So, what do we think?
I think Ayla would look at Alcina and say, "Do you truly believe that they can handle it over there in Bethesda?"
Well, like here, all I have to go off of is the information that I was given by the individuals that are helming it. And I have no reason to doubt them based on my life spent working with them, that everything is being taken care of. I've seen the refugees in Rexon from it. I
Seen them?
know that
Did you see anyone that looks like me?
He was in Elves,
My
but
family
I don't know if
was
you would
there.
know.
I didn't see your family specifically, but I've seen the people that have been brought into the city, and the information that I was given is that it is being held at bay. That who could be saved has been evacuated.
They have capabilities kind of like us.
They do. They have the archmages at their disposal. They have all of the guard that they can push towards it. The Imperial forces are much larger than I think people realize. And we're able to hold off a lot of what is happening.
She will look to the Shadowhand. If she says that they are capable of dealing with my home, then I vote for Bazazan. I trust it's her home too over there, and she feels that they're capable, then I believe her.
He nods and says, very well. We have heard some reports about the situation in the Basea still. They are dealing with a similar effect that we are here at Bazozan. Constant invasions, constant attacks. It seems that a lot of creatures that are merging over there, some of the demonic ones at least, are a lot more ice magic based, seemingly adapting to the area of Basea still there being in a colder region. Bazozan here a lot more poison based and heat based things have been emerging. We have gotten reports of a steady defense, but they've made, much like us, no real progress in actually closing the rift. night. There's been a mention that one of their archmages was put in a state of coma during one of these attacks, nearly losing their lives.
I'm sorry to hear that.
They're not on our side, so it's quite all right. Well, he looks over to Ulcine and says, I suppose for now.
They are fighting north. So, as much as we're not on the same side, we are.
The only thing that matters right now.
About that, Alcina stand up, and she had the box in her lap the whole time. And she pulls it up and sits it on the desk, on the table. I was asked to retrieve something, and I want to give that back as a sign of the alliance between the Assembly, the Empire, and the Dynasty. That our efforts are not veiled, that they are not a masked threat, and that we speak true words when we say we are in this together, and that we are sorry for what our actions have caused in the short term that led to the war before this. And she will undo the lock and pull it back and slides the box forward with the Luxon shards in it. It's not the
They all
whole
kind of
stone taken from Asarius, but it is a sizable chunk that I was able to recover.
You see them all kind of look at each other, and then the Dust Captain, Quana Kryn, opens the box, and you see her kind of put her hand to her face, eyes widen, seeing what's inside. You see Essek look over and raise an eyebrow, kind of surprised, and then you see the Sunbreaker kind of look at it in disbelief. All of them look over like, my God, I can't believe it. By the Luxon, it is you. And they sort of look to you here. You see the Sky Sybil, Miriam, looks on over, and her eyes widen for a second, and you watch as she begins to weep, tears forming at the edges of her eyes and sort of running down the side of her face. She reaches out, her hands kind of shaking. She finally stands up, sort of standing on the chair, a little goblin, and she kind of moves her hands around, and you watch the shards begin to slowly levitate and move around and slowly levitate around the room. As they do, these dark grayish shards, bereft of any life now, begin to slowly illuminate and dance and fly, sort of floating above the table here. All of you kind of look on up as you see Sky Sybil kind of crying there, and she says out loud, you see with tears in her eyes, "The wounded child, return to us. What blessing and what horrible thing has happened to you?" As you see these shards begin to slowly click, click, and lock into just empty space in the air. Tick, 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 tick. Multiple of these shards begin to lock into place, and about a maybe like a third of the whole of a Luxon beacon is assembled there, just sort of locked in gravity in space. You see her kind of carefully reach out and place her hand on the sort of shattered glass. She closes her eyes, and you watch the gemstones begin to glow powerfully here until the light is so blinding you have to look away. And by the time you all open your eyes here, you see holding in her hand no more of those shattered shards, but instead a very small, like a snowball size, much diminished size and power of a Luxon that she holds there in her hands. Tears down her face. as you, Ayla, recognize she just did a divine intervention, right? Wishing for as much of this to be recovered as possible.
Amazing.
She holds onto it and she's sort of weeping. You see Solomon put his hand on his sort of heart and kind of fall down to one knee, kind of lower his head. The Dust Captain smiles and bows her head in reverie here. And Essig just sort of observes, staring at it, just kind of squinting, examining. She looks up to you, Alcina, Miriam does, Sky Sybil, and says, I am always distant to the idea of trusting those who do not reach within the light's grasp. I have never trusted those from beyond the mountains. Wounded though as this spark is, you have brought it back to us. For that, we will forever be grateful. To all of you. Looks over to Alcina. Looks over to Ayla. You have both now, your group and the two of you, returned to us. Not an artifact, not great power, but you have returned to us meaning. You have returned to us hope. And she just sort of looks into it and continues to stare into it while she weeps openly.
Forgive me, but, Italian.
Yes.
I don't know the strength of your power, or if it's even possible, but could, like, you do something with your magic to that thing?
I think
Try to
Sharon
kinda
fixed it.
She
I
did.
can, from what Essex taught me of dunamis, and specifically the oscillating chronology, it can only it can restore physical objects, but it can't return what they lost. Same with magical items.
Okay, well,
I can repair the object itself. I just can't restore what was lost.
It's possible that she was able to bring it all back, even the people within it.
She sort of teared up still, kind of looks out, says, I have been blessed by the Luxon with great might of mind, but what was taken is still out there. She produces, says, this all-powerful yet small version of what the beacon represented is still diminished. Many of its shards of that poor shattered form of it is still out there, used by all manner of foul wizards. But this is ours again.
We just have to get the bag, right? And then we can fix that one.
Would it be able to find its missing pieces?
It's not easy to explain, but Luxon does not have a will of its own to preserve itself like that. It is an ultimately unselfish ideal of preserving others. I am the greatest cleric of the Luxon I have ever met, and I wouldn't even know how to begin to ask it for that. And you see this constant...
Ayla will put her hand on us. We just have to get it back. The other parts that you couldn't get before.
She puts her hand on your hand and says, you have done, all of you, much more that you could possibly know. Twice now. Heroes. Heroes of the dynasty. What an understatement. Huh? And she fully stands up and starts carrying off this artifact. Shadow goes, Sky Sybil, meeting's not done yet. She fully leaves. She just walks out the door and closes the door behind her. Shadowhand goes, all right.
Well,
I suppose. And then he turns back and the light fades and the atmosphere returns. You see the Dust Captain look to you here. Alcina says, a massive leap in my own and those who serve under me. A massive leap in favor of your responsibility and trustworthiness. If nothing, putting aside the great meaning this beacon has to us, what you did here today, lets me put a lot of faith into you.
she will very respectfully bow and kind of dip her head. And I will stay committed to it. You have my word.
Very well. Kara. She turns to look over, says, one decision yet to be made. Olliman stands up, says, I believe I've been informed of my next duty. Grand Duelist Odo, once I return from banishing and destroying the fiends that pester your homeland and your countryfolk, I wish to duel with you, to cross blades truly, and test our mights together. I will only do so once I've earned your respect by protecting your home.
Oh, nothing would make me happier.
Very well.
Thank
Before
you,
you
great
go,
swordsman.
before you go,
He goes to
I'm-
like leave. Oh, yes.
I might
Great
send you a
priestess.
message in your head. Don't freak out. I just wanted to
That's
warn
all right.
you. Okay.
I've lived for more than 900 years. I know what ascending is, but I do appreciate you being polite.
Okay. I have to get, I want to get consent. It's okay. 'Cause last
Very
time
well.
I sent them a message,
Well-
they got really freaked out.
I don't know how you would be. It's a very basic spell of communication. As a martial warrior in an army, you have to know about it. In either case, thank you all. Dust Captain, he salutes. Scout Captain. So salutes to you, Talion, as well.
Odo will inform him the people that
Yes.
he knows in there to tell him that Odo sent him. I can't remember
Very well.
the NPC's names, though, at the moment. I'm sorry.
He looks to you and sort of stares into you and says, I will do my best, but I hope to the Luxon. I do not arrive too late. However, times are tough, and these enemies we face are unforgiving, treacherous, and brutal. You have to understand, without me needing to explain, that the hour might be late already. I think we both know that somewhere in our hearts. But I will do all I can.
As much faith as you have in us, I have in you. Do what you can, and I will be forever grateful.
Very well, Master Duelist. And
Master
he looks
Swordsman.
to all of you, gives a nod. He gives a nod, and then he walks out. Dust Captain and the Shadowhand left here. Shadowhand, looking at everyone sort of leaving this very important meeting, says, all right, well, one decision still needs to be made. Is it you wish to travel to Bazuzan or to Basea still first? So far, I believe the lady Ayla here has decided for Bazuzan. I believe words of Lady Alcina, or should we call you Kara, in our presence? Which name do you wish to be called by? Jess, you there?
Sorry, my headset cut out. I think.
All good.
What'd you say?
They were saying that Ayla has kind of voted for Bazazan. Alcina has kind of been wanting to make a choice, but then he stopped and said or do you prefer to be called Kara? What do you wish to be here in the dynasty? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Carl was just a disguise. It wasn't anything I was ever particularly attached to, but if it would make your people feel at ease having her around versus me, given the past and where our two countries lie, I don't mind. It was kind of fun
In
pretending to be a noble anyways.
In public, amongst the many common peoples of Rossona, an appearance of one of our own might be better, but that is up to you.
Then
Do
that
you
is fine with
all
me.
have a do you all have a particular decision, Bazuzan or Basea still?
The pragmatic soldier in me is looking at Bazusan. It is the biggest threat on the board at the moment, it seems.
I feel like this is Ayla's decision, and I will support her either way.
Much as I want to find out what happened to my family,
We
have.
can send some messages, yes?
I will, yes. But if Alcina says that the assembly can deal with it over there, then we have to fight it from both sides, right? They fighting over there and we fight Bazuzan. They'll be getting attacked from both ends. It may be bad for them. They may have to decide themselves on where to send their demons. They wouldn't count on us working together. So, we should do that.
Okay. That wasn't this for me.
Shadowhand kind of looks over to Scout Captain Talion. And what of you, Captain?
Well, Sunbreaker will be taking care of Chars, which is what I originally wanted to do, but my second option was Bazuzan. So, if we're all in agreement, I believe Bazuzan should be the next target that we secure for the dynasty.
Very well. He looks over to the Dusk Captain and says, Captain, it seems like we've come to an agreement. The Dusk Captain slowly stands up, kind of holding onto her side a bit, and then she sort of proudly stands up and says, very well. It seems our course is set. Only time will tell should our decisions here in this room today be true. I will prepare for you all wyverns to travel on the backs of to Bazuzan. I understand, points over to you, Ayla, says, my beloved, my queen, the bright queen of all of Jorhas, has given you her favored staff that allows you to travel great distances. Should you wish, you can try to use it instead, but it's been explained to me before that is not a certain thing. There is some chance tied to the travel with it.
That is true, but because I used to go so much to see Veren and Bazuzan, I have like an item from there that helps me get there faster.
Very well.
I used to go all the time to see him, so we should. It's up to you if you all want to fly Wyvern or if you want to go. I can take you any way you like.
All of you can
I
decide
think we should
that.
prepare.
We'll
I think we should prepare and go as fast as we can.
Yes.
Okay, then
Very well.
teleport it is.
I need a new sword, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, this time.
I think
rest
I do
of
as
day.
well, actually. My sword is fine, but for what we're going against, I'm...
I think we're both on that, breaking up with our old weapons kind of deal and going on to new ones,
Yeah, you
Looking
guys
for
are not
something
going to
new,
touch
something a
that
little more
stuff ever again.
casual. Yeah.
No longer having the Lash of Shadows. I think I need something a little stronger than what I've got.
Same.
Very well. Take the day, relax, do whatever shopping you need to do. Keep in mind, a lot of the magical vaults and treasuries and magical shops in the city are vastly emptied. Whatever we have, whatever is available is being bought up by the Aurora Watch and sent out, provisioned to different high-standing officers that can possibly use them to defend the lands.
Well,
so, best of luck.
let's ask here and now. Is there any great weapons that you can lend the heroes of the dynasty? Wink, wink.
Oh, God.
Oh, in the vaults of the queen, you're asking for.
Well, maybe a loner until, we can find them something and then we can always return it,
This is highly unusual. I kind of looks over to the shadow hand. Essex says, first of all, you're not allowed to ask the dust captain if they can borrow you a royal weapon or a part of the royal arsenal. That's just not how things work. However, with the circumstances
Here.
and the situation,
You could do a trade
I will-
seize. Why don't you
I
give them
will
that terrible
offer a
sword
trade.
that you
I
have?
was literally, you read my mind.
Let the shadow hand finish. He was just about to say something to you both.
Well,
Jesus.
it being locked up is probably good here than anywhere else.
I will get out the weapon of their enemy and
my
lay it on
God.
the table.
how do you feel about the evil blade, right? As you pull out the silken spite, all of them look at it, and you see the dust captain kind of like, doesn't like the look of it at all, sort of scowls immediately. Shadowhand looks over, says, yes, I've seen, we've sort of spoken about this briefly before, and it's been reported to me that you have a powerful weapon that served the Spider Queen before, but it seems that you have managed to control its will for quite some time. If that is the case, why not continue using such a powerful weapon?
Because,
is a bit of a stretch, it seems.
yes, it definitely cursed me. It's definitely an evil weapon, and yes, I thought at one point I needed to use her power to face her. And now I realize that was probably mistaken and need something of a different variety.
Interesting, yeah? Alright, and you wish of us to keep it? You wish of us to hold on to it? Is that what you're saying?
It needs to be protected and, I mean, ideally at some point destroyed.
Yeah, we could destroy it. That'd be wonderful. But I don't think.
But
we
I
can figure that
understand that's extremely difficult to do, and we're short on time.
There is
This
only
is the
one
enemy
way
of
to
your
destroy,
people.
yeah?
This is the enemy of my people. I want
He says,
you to
Mhm.
handle it, and in return, if you could offer me a weapon of the light that I can use against our enemy, our shared enemy, then I'd appreciate it.
he nods. He says, interesting. It's a great deal of trust you're presenting here. He says that with a bit of something in it, right? There's a little bit of something in it. You give me an insight roll if you want to.
I think I'm terrible at insight. Yep.
Insight
One.
is your best stat, if I remember correctly. Yes, there it is.
Aw.
One. You just whoosh right over your head. As he says, a great deal of trust you're showing here, and I'm certain we can equip you with some sort of a powerful weapon, some set of arms for you. The only known way in history that I have learned of in my years to destroy a vestige of a god is for either the the god itself has to will it to destroy the weapon, or a champion of that very god can destroy the weapon. So only a champion of Lolth can destroy that blade.
Interesting.
I can tell you freely, right here and now, that we in the dynasty have no interest in having that blade anywhere in the city. If anything, we would send it away to some hidden vault, hidden elsewhere in Jorhas, where even there, I'm certain it wouldn't be safe, per se. But if you do not wish to have it, I will happily sequester it away somewhere where hopefully for the rest of this war it will not be found.
Well, you don't give me a lot of confidence in what you're saying.
Well, I'm saying that it'll be away from you and protected by all means. But this weapon has an essence of a god in it. There is nothing we mortals can do to stop gods from knowing where the artifacts that they made and poured some aspects of themselves are, and therefore informing their minions to recover it in whatever means, however, and whenever.
You could always encase it in the amber for you if you wanted, and then you could just keep it with you. You wouldn't have to touch it, and then if you ever need it, you can just break it open.
It's not going to do anything
might...
to you, right?
I am able to produce for you a scroll that will help you semi-permanently sequester it away. If you wish to still keep it on you for the sense of security. If not, I will do the very same thing with it somewhere elsewhere away from the city here. Because at no means and no opportunity ever will I allow for such a dangerous thing to exist within the city.
As it has been, literally, because it's been on a laundress person this whole time.
Ayla's just like, oh, listening to that. Like,
actually,
fuck. I don't know. Give
do you
me
want to hand it to him? What he's giving you, yes, he says very well. He will chant some magical words, and you watch out pulling out of existence itself a long piece of parchment scrolled on up, and he gives you. You look it over, and reading through it, you realize like, whoa, this is some higher level magic. This is a 8th level spell scroll of something called Demiplane. A spell that as a wizard you have heard about, definitely. Demiplane is a spell that you read it, it burns, you like the scroll here. You would read it, it activates, it opens a doorway. You open a doorway, there's like a 30 by 30 room that only you can access. You make a pocket of reality that's permanent. And next time, if you wish to go into it, you have to cast the spell again. As you realize what he's giving you here is like a one-way entrance to a room, and the moment you close the door without the scroll again, or without learning the spell yourself, you're never going to be able to go back in there. However, if you ever die, that shit just pops open.
Oh gosh, okay. Yeah, I mean, seems pretty good. I'll cast it right now. Seal the
He's
sucker
like, no, not right here. Not in the city, because once again, if you die, it'll fall out right here in the city.
Oh, that's how it works? Oh, I didn't get that
the
part. I
door,
thought it died on my person. Okay, interesting.
No. So when you cast it, you create a little invisible door, and when you close it, that door is invisible for everyone but you, and you can find that door again and just sort of like open it by casting another demiplane spell.
Okay,
right?
okay. I didn't get how it worked. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Right. He's like, no, wait.
Yeah.
AKA, like, we wind a little bit, because you, Zach, are a human, but Elantra's an incredibly intelligent wizard, so you're like, right, I'll do this somewhere. Yes, of course. Excellent. He gives you a scroll, says, we will find you a weapon of some sort. Yes. Same for you here, Odo, Master Odo, if you're interested in a weapon of some kind.
Many thanks.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was a little confused there. You have a weapon available, or?
No, well, I'm certain we have some. We can look into the vaults, the Queen's vaults, and everything with her permission, of course. He sort of looks over to the Dust Captain, and Dust Captain says, "It is definitely worth entertaining. The idea." Yeah. He looks to both of you, says, "Any particular kind of weapon that I should be on the lookout for?"
A rapier.
Rapier.
Sort of
We both look at each other.
Yeah, he sort of squints at both of you, says, "Both of you want a very powerful rapier that you're just hoping we have doubles of." All right. Right. Very well. I will have something for you by the end of the day.
If not a rapier, some sort of finesse weapon.
Also same, but
Finesse.
you know, Alondra, we could always just duel for it.
I would ask that you don't do that the day before you have to go fight a demon army. I feel like that's just overall non-necessary.
Alondra laughs at
I'll
it.
see to it that I find 2 good weapons for you, I suppose. The
Is
superheroes show up at your house and they're like, "We could just fight for the weapon before we go fight the evil guy." And the guy's like, No. You're blackmailing me. I get it. I'm just gonna find you cool weapons
Oh,
instead.
come on.
I
Odo
get
was
it.
saying that with a grin on his face.
No, I know.
Alondra was
But he's like,
smiling right
that's a
back.
terrible, logistically horrible idea.
Is the meeting at an end?
I believe so. Thank you all for
Where
your work.
might I find the Guy Sybil? I have a question for her.
The Sky Sybil is in the central the Dome of Light. He points out the little closed window here to move some curtains, and you see on the opposite side. So it's like the palace. We went right to like those magic barracks for soldiers, and on the left is a massive cathedral. Where a lot of worship is held, a lot of resurrections are done, and all holy rituals, stuff like that.
Am I permitted to go over there?
Yes, the meeting. As long as the Lightbringer Ayla here accompanies you.
Just look to Ayla. Oh, my chaperone, would you be so kind?
Yeah, I can take you to the prayer room. You want to go? You going to pray?
No, I'm not praying. I'm wanted to talk to the Sky Sybil.
Oh, okay.
You see, the Shadowhand says, "Very well, that would be a conclusion of this meeting. Thank you all for coming." The desk captain says, "Best of luck to all of us. I hope to see you all on the other side." And she turns and kind of walks on the other side. There's another door at the back of the room that she opens and goes that way. As you guys are all standing up, the Shadowhand looks over and says, "Scout Captain Talion, word alone, please."
You guys go ahead. I'll catch up with you later.
Of course.
All of you sort of filter on out, start heading outside. The door closes, and it's just this chamber here, this war room, and then Talion and Essek, only ones in here. You see, kind of standing there, just sort of levitating, floating for a moment while everyone is leaving, arms sort of folded behind his back. As everyone leaves, and there's this moment, maybe 5-10 seconds passed of just like silence, he exhales. He looks over to you and says, "Always tense, these kinds of meetings. High tempers and powerful idealistic ideas often clashing. Best intentions often pointed wrong direction. But it seems that we have come to a amicable agreement. But I'm not here to talk to you about that. Scout Captain, I was poring over reports I received from Varen, from Taskhand. Varen, my brother, and he was telling me everything that has transpired in the past. Well, 3 years from his point of view. He told me of how the party fell, how your group fell against Ikathon, and everything that happened on your travels into the Empire. There was one detail that he mentioned to me that I found quite curious. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my gosh.
I know what this is. Oh god. Okay. That's
15 fails.
You know what? I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay, inspiration reroll. Let's do it.
Come on.
Number to beat is 18.
Oops. 20.
20. Let's go. You, as you're standing there, you sort of look at it and it says, one detail that he mentioned before that was very curious. As he says it, you feel the ground begin to tremble and the chairs in this chamber all begin to bend and compact themselves. The table, the candelabra, the chandelier all begin to rend themselves as you feel your body begin to pull 2 different directions. Your spine is going backwards and your head is going sideways. Your arms are going up and down as you feel this enormous pressure on your body here as gravity amplifies like 30 times. Everything is sort of shaking and vibrating. Your whole body is sort of struggling to stay standing, but you fight it off and you stand. And he turns, slowly levitating, turns to face you. He says, my brother mentioned that while facing off against a notorious myriad criminal turned archmage lackey, individual named Korshad Siddiqui, who seemed to have, in your second battle after your revival, recognized you by name. Recognize you by a nickname, even of some sort, that I later was able to translate upon Varen's report. Varen obviously thought nothing of it. You still feel this incredible pressure, but what you've done here, instead of being like slammed into the ground prone, you're able to keep standing up, but there's non-stop pressure that is pushing down on this room. He says, now I got to thinking.
Before we get to Essek doing that, could I try and make it look like that his gravity, well, I know what the spell is, I have it. Can I bluff that his spell has me?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a deception roll.
25.
25. You feel the pressure, instantly realize what it is. You fall to your knees and your sort of elbows, and you're trying to, like, be pushed onto the ground here. Well, not really, right? You feel the force. You know you are able to spring up whenever you want to, but you perfectly played a role. As he sort of rotates around, slowly swivels, floating, and looks down to you and says, now I've got to think. And the only reason a dangerous criminal like that, who is centered, and to my best knowledge, always and only existed and operated within the Empire, would know you. That can only mean that you have some connections, or perhaps even deep ties and roots within the Empire. Now, that's a whole stream of thought that came to me, but before I execute my judgment of what is to be done with you here, if you are to be pronounced some sort of a traitor here and now, or if I am misunderstanding something, now would be the only time to elaborate. You feel that pressure on you. you are able to speak. You're able to do what you will.
With a shaky pretend voice, I say, I was his pet.
What does that mean?
When I was little, he stole me from my home, and I spent 10 years being his personal circle. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to remember what the spell name for, like, his personal zone of truth. He learned that I had an eye for lies and truths, and he would use me to shift out who was lying to him. And if I ever deceived him, he would kill them outright. And that was my life when I was 5. So if you think
still,
I will ever be aligned with them, and look up him, and for the first time, Talion shows emotion, Essek would just see pure hatred. I hate that man, and I'm glad Alcina stuck a sword through his throat.
He's just sort of staring down at you. You see, he has the same exact expression as before, sort of like Stonewall, but his eyes are glowing with like powerful pale white light.
And as he's looking at me, as what I just said, I begin to stand up, realizing his gravity had no effect. And I rip off my armor, and I show burn marks, whip marks, scar marks. This is all I was to Korshad.
Now, this is mostly what you're saying is a persuasion roll, but I would ask for you to go ahead and set your character sheet to GM, and I want you to roll me your choice. Don't tell me, don't tell the others, I'll see it when you roll it. A deception or persuasion roll. Your choice. You can have advantage because of your previous roll as well.
Okay, I will just roll again.
Well, all right.
I mean, if they're happy with that roll, I will roll again.
I'm more than happy with that roll. That's a great roll. Yeah, I think he looks to you, and I think when you sort of move your armor and shirt aside, and we see these horrible, like burnt stamps into and carvings and cuts that look like you were like a targeting dummy. Yeah. The pressure does not release on you, but you see his face tilt as you stand up, and the effect is this like vibrating point. You still feel like immense pressure, but you're very much so able to sort of combat it and stand. And he sort of tilts his head aside and says, if that is the case, how does a slave end up all the way over here into Dynasty, fighting for the good of the Luxon and the Queen? As you see immediately on his face, your incredible insight, the suspicion greatly dissolves, but there's questions that he wants to ask to, like, clear it out.
You remember 3 years ago when I asked you to find someone who was a spy in the Empire 20 years ago?
I do. I believe I've informed you, if they are still alive, where they are.
I suspect that man's my father, and with the only other person who knows the location of my mother dead, he is my last link to her, to finding where she is. That's why I came to Xhorhas.
And you see a little bit of something dissolve in his face. That stern look of inquisition dissolves a little bit, and he sort of raises his head. He says, I see. An unwilling criminal turned hero. If I weren't as much of a cynic, I'd think it quite a touching story. Very well. He waves his hand, and the pressure fades from you as you're able to fully sort of stand. He stares on out to you and says, I understand a little bit of something when it comes to wanting to find connection. One can only find with their parents. He looks you up and down as you feel you got a little bit of nosebleed, right? Just from like the pressure of this, as you kind of wipe it and start put your armor back on. He says, "I was nearly certain that your connection to the Myriad would make this some greater ploy and a threat, and as such, I am more than willing to accept any punishment that would come from your reports to the Dusk Captain about my behavior in this room. I don't regret my inquisition, but I'm willing to suffer whatever consequences may come this way."
As Talion is putting on his clothing and armor again, you taught me the secrets of Dunamis, and I consider you a friend and not only a mentor as well. I won't say anything. But then he turns his head over to Essek. But if you really think that I was a member of the Myriad, that I could inflict the kind of pain and suffering those people do on any other people like them, then you didn't know me at all, Shadowhand. And then I leave the room and slam the door.
Yeah. He goes to say something, right? And maybe there's, I think, a moment where you see a look of maybe I've gone a little too far. After all, this person has done so much. But boom, door slams, right? As you have the last word, and you step out.
Yeah.
So wipe your nose and everything. Can clean the blood off of you. Sort of. You follow down after, and you see as you exit into the courtyard on the other side there is like the temple grounds, or the light dome, as it's called here, the sort of Luxon space where. Currently inside, probably waiting outside. I don't know if everyone is inside at the moment. Would everyone have gone into the temple to speak to the Sky Sibyl Mirim, or is someone waiting outside? Is Odo gone into the temple? Is Alondra in there?
That's not Odo's thing. He'll be probably
I
looking
don't
to buy
think
some potions.
Alondra's. Yeah,
He's prepping.
Alondra's with Odo.
Gotcha. Excellent. Two of them are outside. Talion, you clock them immediately. You see the soldiers immediately. Captain. Salute, Captain. Hail, Captain. As you guys look over to Talion, you see Talion. I don't know if you would catch anything off about him. He seems perfectly normal, just like when you left him, I think. Unless you think, Will, something seems off, huh?
I mean, if they want to roll if either one of them wants to roll a quick perception check, I'll give more details.
Yeah,
Sure.
if you guys feel like giving me a little perception roll here.
I'm so great at this too. Oh, it's not bad. 15.
Are we there, or are we
15's
out getting
nice.
stuff?
No, this is, you guys are in the courtyard in front, while your two friends are currently in the temple talking, and he's exiting from a nearby building and walking up to you guys. This is a perception roll to see if you spot that something might have happened. 23. 15, I will leave it up to you, Talion. You are a very sort of suave and stealthy individual. I'll leave it to you if a 15 is good enough to notice, but I think a 23 is good enough to notice something.
I think for Alondra, they would notice that Tally is a little disheveled, having just kind of buttoning up and tightening all his clothing again. Odo, you definitely would notice that there's you see where Tally is just buttoning up a shirt. You see brief glances of the scars, old scars under his tunic, but you can definitely see on his face there is a faint dry streak of blood where his nose is, underneath his nose. and a single tier.
I think Odo's going to hold it to himself for a moment, and he'll talk to Talion about it later.
All right. The Italian will approach them all.
Like a Jed. Saw that.
Oh my gosh.
So, Alcina and Alondra and Ayla are still within the temple, guys.
Yes.
All right. Do you mind if I'll wait with you here?
We're going to go, I think, go get some potions or see what's in town.
All right. Then, would you guys mind if I accompany you?
Of
leave
course.
I'll leave a note here with my scouts for Alcina and Ayla to meet us back at the house.
Of course.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. I'll get one of my scouts to come over and lead them with a message
Yep.
for Ayla and
Sure.
Alcina. And I'll accompany Alondra and Odo.
Okay. You guys head on out, trying to find some potions or any shops like that still might have some that hasn't already been bought up by the army. Meanwhile, we're going to jump into that temple here as walking on in brilliant light from above as you see you hear a loud chant. A group of sort of Luxon worshippers here have gathered. More than 50, 60 people in this grand open chapel. Gigantic, sort of chandelier style, floating in mid-air, kind of a dodecahedron, symbol of the Luxon, glowing with brilliant white light. You see 50, 60 individuals down below, some on their knees praying, some of them sort of prostrating themselves fully on the ground, some of them sort of standing up, arms out, drinking in all the light. You see mostly like 80% of them are dark elves, right? So they're looking at this light and their eyes are burning. Eyes are burning from the light. Again, that sunlight weakness that dark elves have. And still they look as their eyes tear up. They smile as they're floating, sort of placed upon this tall pillar currently being placed by the Sky Sibyl Miram. Is that small, sort of remolded by power and hope alone. Shards of the Luxon, now made into a much smaller. Usual one is like, like a bowling ball, a little bigger actually, right? This one is like, a little snowball, small one remade. Places this on this pillar, and as she does, it flickers with light and then glows and then begins to slowly rotate. As she is slowly kind of lowered down. And you see her kind of walk up to the head, the sort of that little raised podium with a little platform, and she sort of stands up on it, and she starts speaking words of chant, prayer to the Lux, and prayer to the light, prayer to second chance, prayer to hope, a prayer to trying again, a prayer to sanctuary and to society of those who believe that the road doesn't end, that life will always, that hope will always persevere. You see people tearing up and listening to this, crying in happiness here, looking at this amazed. And the sermon goes for a few minutes as people continue to pray on their own, but the Sky Sibyl kind of looks over and sees you all. She wipes somewhat dried tears at this point from her face and approaches you all. You see she looks, says, I apologize for leaving so abruptly, but I had much greater things to do. She gestures to the sort of the small Luxon beacon back in its place. This beacon was a mighty blessing entrusted to the House Olios, and as such, I have already sent word to the remaining members of the Den Olios for it to be returned to them. They will be arriving, hopefully, sometime today. Hope remains for that whole den because of what you did.
That
How can I
den
help?
was my friend's So I'm happy to help get them back.
Of course.
I came with a question, and I hope it doesn't come off as selfish. But we are going into a place that is dangerous and fighting things that had at one point potentially, or that had actually ended our lives, and will potentially be facing them again in much the same capacity. So I was hoping that you might be able to, or you, the Luxon, could. And she's gonna reach down. She pulls out the time piercer sword and lets it ignite, or like unfurl and take shape. I have a weapon that, as far as I can tell, is slightly connected to the dynamantic energies of the Luxon, and I was wondering if you might be able to impart a blessing into it before we head into Bazozan. Hello?
No, we cannot.
I fucking muted myself. My bad. I didn't notice. What I said to myself is go ahead and roll me a persuasion roll with advantage. I'm sitting here like, come on, Jess, where's the fucking persuasion roll, man? My
I have no
bad.
idea
I
what you're
apologize.
saying. I just hear
Yeah, I know.
silence.
I'm muted. I went to sneeze and I muted myself and forgot to fucking unmute. Give me that persuasion with advantage, please. 20 or above is what you want for some great stuff.
Okay, so I'll just be honest with you. I can't roll a 20 in persuasion at all.
Yeah, you can.
Good trade.
You have your second win, right?
Yeah,
Right?
this would have to be very high.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do have second win.
Ready?
Fighters can
I
reach any number now, man. It's pretty great.
I can always subtle spell her a guidance.
I'll allow it. Yes, for sure. Absolutely. A D4 as well. 18. Guidance is going to be already a D4, right? And then you can add a D10 on top of that as well. Nice. Already a 22. Can you get to a 30? 28. Okay, pretty good.
Wait,
Incredible.
Is it just a D10? I thought it was D10 plus.
It's just a D10.
something.
For second win, it's D10 plus your fighter level. For tactical mind, it's just a D10. No, that's tactical shift. Yeah, this one. Incredible. She looks over the time piercer that you sort of hint her. She slowly kind of takes it and looks to it. Says, "This weapon is unique. It is not of the light, but it has properties much akin to the Luxon. Time, the strange, conflicting idea of time. I'm happy to do so, although I cannot do such a great power today. If you leave it with me until tomorrow, I will enchant this further for you, placing some magical boon. No, placing my thanks onto it."
That perfectly fine. And she will, kind of like lets it retract back into the hourglass and hands it over to her.
Yeah, she suspects it's kind of what a curious thing. She's obviously not a very like arcana person, right? So this blessing will be some divine blessing in nature. And she just sort of looks it over. She nods and says, "You will have to excuse me. I must return to the ceremony." She's got sort of a smoker voice, old goblin lady.
Do you need me to stay for the ceremony?
If you wish, of course. But if not, I'm certain you have much greater things to care for now. and she looks down, sort of to you. And when she says that, she looks down to your ring.
Yes, I know. I have to go talk to him. Thank you for understanding.
Of course. Thank you once again. And she turns back, and she's sort of carrying this like weird hourglass with her, and she sort of hands it to one of the acolytes, who brings it to her room. AKA Alcina, she can't do it today because she already did her divine intervention today. She got you with something tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
All right. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
Ayla will point to it. That's where we have our brunch after prayer. And this is that lady over there, the Diana. She's really not very nice, and she smells.
I'm sure. Yeah, they're not
I
I
think it's
believe in
'cause
the
she's
Luxon
old.
harder than anyone else here. I am the mightiest believer of the Luxon here. Yes, as she's walking around.
Not very nice.
That's been my experience with most people in religion, is they're generally not very nice. But different sides of the world feel pretty nice, so, feather in your
try.
hat.
I try.
No, it's every temple I've ever visited, people have been rude or interpreting things in a way that I don't think they were ever meant to be interpreted. I've read a lot of religious texts, and for the most part, I feel most religious leaders seem to twist things in their favor.
Yes, I mean, I guess I have a different view when it comes to religion,
Now, so
Well, not everyone needs to be following a religion, and that's okay. Everyone has their choice. I don't feel like pressuring people into being part of a religion is something I like to do. And, learning about different religions isn't always a bad thing. You get to see different perspectives. I would have never found the Luxon if I didn't, inquire. So.
I find it to be an interesting one. Less about adherence to strict dogma and more just about the person.
Well, we're gonna need the religion on our side for this fight, I tell you. Don't worry. I know you're inquisitive and all, but in time.
In time, what?
In time, maybe you learn more. If you want to stay here. If you're not, you want to go back home or be in the Fade Wilds, Feylands. Be kind of cool. You get to live longer there.
Yeah, I heard what happened to that bumblebee that teleported us. Used to be a giant elephant man, then became a bumblebee mage. If that is prolonged time in the Feywilds, I don't know if that is necessarily for me.
But that's Alondra's home.
I understand that's Alondra's home, but I don't want to be turned into a bumblebee.
Kind of cool, I think, being able to fly.
Would you want to be a bumblebee? Would you want that to be your fate? That after everything you did and everything you achieved, you go there somewhere and you get turned into a bug.
I mean, just because they're a bumblebee doesn't mean they can't do any cool stuff. I mean, they made a whole portal for us to go through. It seems pretty cool.
Setting cool things aside, would you, Ayla, want to be reduced to being a bumblebee?
I guess if Verin was a bumblebee, I would want to be one. So yeah, obviously.
Would you love me if I was a bumblebee?
Alondra
You wouldn't love
bumblebee.
Alondra if she was a cool, sexy bumblebee. She'd probably be the sexiest bumblebee you would ever see.
Alcina,
Very
you have
important
fought
that you tell
unimaginable
me that you.
things.
Yeah, it's very important that you tell me that my best friend, you will love her even if she was a bumblebee.
I was gonna
She
say,
gives
Alcina,
her- she
you've
gives her, like,
seen
the
and
eye.
fought unbelievable. You've seen and fought unbelievable things. This is the wildest conversation you've ever had.
That is not even the angle I was going for. I'm just saying I don't want to be a bumblebee.
All right.
Yes, I would.
I'm going to roll an insight check.
Go right ahead.
So I'll see.
You tell me. 18 is pretty good.
Yeah, at the core of Alcina, she's still human. There's still an attraction that needs to occur for that sort of thing to happen. And she doesn't necessarily seem this terribly into bugs.
Take from that what you want, Ayla.
Hmm.
You understood as much of that, huh?
Alrighty, let's go.
But I just don't want to be a bee. I don't want to be a mouse. I don't want to be a bee. I want to stay me. I'm quite happy with my body.
Okay, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, to be honest, I would love Eren no matter what he was. Because I love who he is as a person. But that's me, and you're you.
It's easy to say that now, but had you met him as a bee, would you have even given it a thought?
Well, like I said, I love his courageousness, and kindness, and compassionate. Even though he's like been living in Bazzoxan for so long, he still cares and loves people. That's what I fell in love with. I mean, he's a hot elf, but if he was a hot bee, I probably wouldn't care. I just don't know how the logistical factor would happen, Like, would I crush him if I, lay next to him? I feel like that's what I'd be worried about.
I'm not concerned about hot
Wait,
bee.
what?
What is that? What? What does that even...
She's gonna say, Alondra, would you love Alcina if she was a hot bee?
You start exiting the temple, you see your friends waiting outside. Yes, you hear, that's the first thing you hear, Alondra, as they're exiting.
I mean, I can polymorph, so I guess.
That's a great answer. You're so smart, Alondra.
All I was saying is I don't want to turn into a bee. Why is this getting out the phones?
But you wouldn't love me if I was a bee.
Oh god.
Don't ask
Talion,
that
it's yours.
question.
Talion. How's this bow of yours work? Can you just point it at me and say those words? You who have wronged me, die or whatever. Can you just end me
Just
now?
pretend that I did. Just pretend that I did.
If I had modified memory, I would cast it on you right now to forget that whole conversation. But
Just invoke the power of your bow and kill me now, please.
Just use the super powerful bow to just end this conversation for me.
just delete me from existence.
Okay.
It's okay, I understand.
insight check on Alondra if she really believes that.
How did we go to tense war meetings talking about if you would love me if I was a bug? Yeah, go ahead and roll an insight if you want to here. This is deep stuff. You rolled. Oh, you're still on GM, but you got a 26 on insight. Alondra, thoughts?
Elantra's like, oh, she just needs to spend more time in the Feywild. She'll get there.
Amazing.
B is your future soon, Alcina.
Gods, no.
All right, where are you guys going? You guys going somewhere now?
We're going to go shopping.
Do you have money?
Bats her doe eyes, and I'll see.
You kind of owe her since you don't love her if she was a bee, so you have to spend all your money now.
What?
My God.
Oh gods, can we please move on from that conversation, please?
I am going to say goodbye to Varen because he's going to be flying. I will, I guess, meet you all home.
Do you need anything picked up? Because apparently they're going shopping and spending all of my money.
Yes, here I'm going to. I'm gonna give. I'm not gonna give Alondra the money because she's so bad with money. She'll give 300 platinum to Alcina. I need as many diamonds as they can spare. Like 300 worth, $300 platinum or whatever, gold worth of diamonds. Just in case. I'm not saying that you're gonna die or anything, but I want to be prepared.
No, I understand. I understand. What kind? Those spells are not one diamond fits all. On a lot of spell research, you either need dust or you need small ones or a big one, depending on what you're doing.
I need a good 300 gold worth one.
It's powder. You need powdered diamond.
Does it say that? It doesn't say powder. It says here diamonds.
Depends on which spell you're
Or is it
doing.
not diamond dust worth?
No, it says
diamonds.
Besides diamonds,
Really? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because I know,
Excellent.
I think Revivify is using like diamond dust.
Oh yeah, for freedom of movement, I think you need. I need a diamond dust or whatever. There's a few that need, but yes, good looking out here, knowing about magic, very good.
Okay, and if you need any extra for potions or whatever it is, just use whatever I have. It's not like I really need it for anything.
Enough. I will see what I can do for the diamonds that you found.
Yep, that's like what 3,000 gold that I gave you.
Yes. Do you want 10 of them or just?
Oh no, just like one or two, and some potions. And if you guys need extra money, because of she's gonna point to Alondra. I don't know, just in case.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I will.
Our girl over here, she's expensive.
She is. There's 5 engagement rings. But anyways.
That's crazy.
I get a 5th
One
one?
for each season. What? No. 4.
You said I could have 5.
Oh goodness. Okay, well, do not use my money for the 5 engagement rings. Only for us to keep us alive in Basil-san. And also, the engagement rings are gonna bring you back to life.
Is there a high?
Well, I could put a diamond
tower
on my
here I
finger.
can
That would be cool.
Meet myself off of.
Oh yeah, you can get her a 300 gold worth diamond, and then if she passes away or something, I can use it to bring it back. That's so smart.
That'd be so.
We got a plan,
effective. Just
friends.
a huge diamond.
It takes Ring of Eternal Bonding to a whole other level.
Yeah, true.
Incredible. Friends, when you guys head on back, okay, let's leave our stuff at home and then go do all this shopping stuff. When you guys head on back home, waiting for you there is another carriage that has arrived with the royal seal of Queen of Den Kryn. And you see there Imbis, your sort of majordomo, your butler, help getting the sort of the Dragonborn guardians to sort of carry in some stuff into the house here. As you see him sort of turn and look at you like, lords and ladies, welcome back. Sorry, Isbil, not Imbis. Isbil looks on back and says, lords and ladies, welcome back. This carriage just arrived with apparently some boons and congratulations and rewards for your recent revival. Apparently, we were told, it says here in the notice that these are funds for your next mission. It seems that some sort of enchanted weaponry has already arrived as well. As you guys realize, like, holy shit, that fast. We just left the place like 30 minutes ago.
Odo's gonna look up at Alondra, look forward, and run. with a smile on his face.
I would freaking book it too, and I'm faster. So.
Both of you guys book it here to see what has arrived here. And you guys find that, first of all, some coin has arrived for you guys. For your mission, although successful ultimately, although delayed, successful ultimately, there is a note there, a letter, that one of you guys can pop open. And you see a written notice that says, to my most loyal and brave knights and mages, a great thanks for returning our task hand, although delayed as it might have been. It is great to have you all back in our warm embrace. Bright Queen Layla's Kryn. For you guys, 5 chests, one for each of you guys. 20,000 gold pieces for every single one of you guys. Mark it down.
Damn. 20,000?
20,000 gold pieces for each of you guys. In platinum, to not break your spine, I guess, right? You could just put it in. It's like treasure, right? So it's like chalices and golden necklaces and pearl fucking bracelet, like a bunch of treasure that all together comes up to like 20,000 gold pieces, right? But you could just mark it down as platinum.
So 2,000
2,000 platinum, yes, basically. Yep. You see Brayla, your sort of Dragonborn guardian, there looking over and like, come on, lift that side. And you see Kroger, the big sort of Dragonborn, lifted on his back, a big chest, and he's like looking over. Alondra, he picks up your chest, looks over and says, my lady, where should we leave this chest full of treasure? Your room? Basement?
Yes, sure. My room is great, I guess.
There's a trophy room and a secret room inside of it if you want it to be there, or we can just put it on your bed. And you see Brayla look at him like, no, don't leave it on the lady's bed. That's not where that goes. And goes, oh, okay. She's gonna confused. As you guys arrive back home, here some treasures arrived, and you see one more notice in there. And I think, who's the one that's like, while everyone's like looking at the treasure, who would be the person who's like, I'll get the treasure later. Let me take a look at what the note says.
I think Talion would do it.
Mm-hmm. Talion, you see something incredibly honoring and shocking in here. One second piece of paper that's in there. As you look at the thank you note, right? You see a piece of paper, a lot more official looking, golden gilding at the edges of it, a big old hot red wax stamp with the seal of the Bright Queen on there. An official admittance and invitation for the group of heroes that has repeatedly shown their bravest, strongest side and face to the many perils and dangers of Xhorhas and the curses that plague Kryn dynasty. Bright Queen Layla's Kryn would officially invite your group, name to be yet determined, to become an honorary den of the Kryn dynasty. As you see an invitation, basically says this, you put your name on it, you stamp it and sign it, and you guys are officially not like a not like a political one, I guess, but an official noble family tier, the highest tier individuals in the dynasty. It goes queen and then all of these dens. You guys would be an honorary den, and you are to decide den and then what? What name? Instructions written underneath this piece of parchment is magically enchanted. Upon entering the name here and confirming it, pressing upon the paper and infusing your will into it, this paper will magically disappear and reappear in the treasury, therefore after becoming registered officially as a new den of the Kryn dynasty.
Wow, that's what I was.
You're allowed to have up to 500 members of a den before you have to ask for an extension of the judicial system.
This is what you wanted, isn't it, Alcina?
What I was pulling for, yes.
I don't know.
Well, this is
if
good news.
do I have to decide what then I mean?
Oh. That is a little interesting for
Yeah,
you.
I think you're marrying into one, aren't you?
And I'm already part of one.
I don't know how it works. I mean, if you get married, are you automatically in it, or do you have to be asked to be in it? I don't know.
Let's ask one of our Tesora. What happens in that situation?
She goes, I don't know. You see Isabel like, well, my ladies, if you, I'll answer this. And she just like, I don't fucking know. I'm not just like a maid here. As Isabel looks at us like, if the I will speak to you later, young miss. If a member of a single den is married or wed into another, there would be an agreement between the heads of the dens of what name or surname or last name they would be taking, or perhaps what den of the two they would be joining, as they would cease to become a member of a single den and become a member of the other one, which is agreed upon by the leaders, the heads of the dens. Although, if I may, I think this incredible honor granted to you by the all-glorious Bright Queen, I think it's more so supposed to be a honor showed, an appreciation showed for your work. If you wish to, it would be very rude to fully refuse to become a den of any sort. But I think it is very much so intended as an honor, a showing of the greatest possible honor.
Okay. But you said someone has to be the leader of the den?
Generally, there is a leader of the den, usually. Some olden traditions that still somewhat persist in a very minute ways, which a lot of people are not really jiving with, if I may, is that a female figure would be the leader of a den, as is the case for most dens currently present in the dynasty, but that is not necessarily a rule to be followed.
Anumavi.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. So many things. I feel like we have so many decisions to make in a very, very short time.
So, any volunteers?
As you're having this deep, like, oh my god, so many decisions, tough things to make. We hear like either Alondra or Odo like, mine, as you're like looking over the swords that you have been brought here.
Gracious.
Okay, friends, you guys are brought two very rare magical weapons here available for you guys. Here are the two weapons. They are not both rapiers. One is a rapier, one is a long sword that has the finesse property, which means it can be used with like decks and stuff. Here are the 2 weapons that are offered to you. First one, I'm just gonna roll to see who opens which one, right? Eventually, you guys grab one of these like large decorated boxes and take a look what's inside. We're gonna say first roll in Roll20 order for Odo. Odo, you pull out a longsword. It drips with darkness and shadow that falls off of it. It's like, oh no, another evil. As you pull this thing out, it drips with incredible darkness, but you sense no mind to it. This is simply a weapon enchanted with the might of Shadowfell, the dark realm of death and gloom that drains the very power and vitality of its enemies. As you are given, let me see here, Odo, a magical longsword with a finesse property called Shadow Wisp. This is a very rare magical weapon. It is a +2 longsword. It does additional 1d6 points of necrotic damage on hit. Additionally, while holding it as an action, you can cast Gaseous Form on yourself. Just become shadow and gas for 5 minutes, no concentration required, once per day. Additionally, you can cause it to sort of leak shadows ominously, which might help with some intimidation rolls. And then it has 2 specific abilities called Shadow Walk and Siphoning Shadows. Shadow Walk says when you hit an attack with this weapon, you can teleport to an unoccupied space within 15 feet of the target. This property can be used 3 times between long rests. And an ability called Siphoning Shadows, which says when you hit a creature with an attack using this weapon, you can choose to gain a number of temporary hit points equal to 5 times the necrotic damage dealt by the attack. Once you use that ability, you can't use it again until a long rest. A blade that lets you become a shadow and drain of life from your enemies. Of course, ideally, that last ability that gives you temporary hit points, you probably want to use that's like, if you roll a 6, right? If you roll a 6 on the d6 of the necrotic damage, it becomes a 30 temporary hit points all of a sudden, right? Which is big. But maybe it's emergency time and you got a 2, so you choose to take a 10 temporary hit points instead, right? Nifty stuff. Now, do keep in mind, this might make some decision making for you here. It does specify in it, you gain temporary hit points equal to 5 times the necrotic damage dealt by the attack. If you have any abilities that let you do extra necrotic damage, they could add on to that for 1 big burst of temporary hit points. The other one that you pull out, Alondra, you're like, what? This one's broken. As you pull out a rapier with what looks to be like a golden brass kind of blade that is cracked and broken into multiple pieces. And that's when it does, it's, what's his name? Fucking Aragorn's sword from Lord of the Rings. The fucking the one that's broken, right? I don't remember. It's at the tip of my tongue. The moment you pull, you see the other... Yes, Andoril. You pull the blade, and you watch all the shards of the blade lift with it and like reassemble themselves, and crackling lightning travels up and down this rapier. The other one being shadowy weapon, this one seems to be a lightning weapon. This here, charged rapier. This one is also a +2 magic weapon, but this one does 1d8 extra lightning damage on hit. And this one has a special property that says electric charge. If you move at least 20 feet in a line and then attack with this weapon, you can speak its command word as a bonus action. Actually, I should have highlighted that as well. As a bonus action, you can speak its command word and briefly transform into a lightning bolt. You travel up to 60 feet of length in a 5-foot wide line, and any creature you pass through in that 60-foot line, you get to make a attack roll against. A d20 plus 9 is the bonus of the attack roll, and it's against the AC of the creature, right? And anyone you hit takes 46 plus your dexterity modifier lightning damage as you pierce through them as a bolt of lightning. And this does not have a cooldown. You can do this every single turn if you want.
Hey.
Lightning bolt weapon or like crazy life stealing weapon.
Alondra, can you increase? How much necrotic damage do you do?
No, is it? Wait, so I'm trying to read. Dealt by via
One
attack.
is a longsword, one is a shadow wisp. One is a longsword, one is a rapier. If you're like, we like this one, but we want something else, they might be able to find you something else, but this is like the cream of the crop kind of weapons that are
yeah,
given.
no, this charge rapier's crazy. I think both are really good, actually, but I move around a lot, so just charge rapier.
Yeah, I was looking at that charge rapier going, Odo can move faster. Right out the bat, I'm like, oh, wait.
Say again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you could, like, go...
My Odo's speed could get faster, right? So, like...
We let him move around a lot more, yeah, right, with your halfling speed a little less. Teleporting 60 feet and then, like, slashing at a bunch of people while you do it is pretty nice
But
to
also,
get you
if
into some new locations.
Alondra has... if she can increase her necrotic damage, that would also help with this.
How could I do that, though? I'm trying to, like, think. I mean, the only...
Well, there are some spells. What's that one spell? I keep thinking of that wizard and cleric spell that's like you do extra d8 of damage and also slow enemies when you hit them. It's like a 3rd level bonus action spell, and I always forget its name. Something Shroud, Spirit Shroud.
Doesn't Odo have like hex?
For example.
No, it does not.
I don't think so. Odo has 0 magic.
That's not true.
Oh.
That's not true. Also, I will say, the Shadow Wisp as well has a thing that's like, you stab a guy, instantly teleport 15 feet. You stab another guy, instantly teleport 15 feet again. Right? So they both have movement abilities as well.
Tell us what ends. You do a 1d...
After you get...
I'm reading a Spirit Shroud.
Yeah, it lets you do a little more damage of, like, necrotic, which is nifty, but, like, that shouldn't be your main focus. It should be, like, how good are these for what they do? Personally, I think, yeah, movement speed could be better on Odo. Bunch of temporary hit points could be good on Alondra. Inversely, also the truth, right? So both of these weapons, you guys are mostly going to use for the part that's like, it's a +2 weapon that does extra damage. That's going to be your main use of it, right? But it has these useful abilities that you can sort of use every once in a while. And keep in mind, it is very tempting for the lightning bolt one to just like teleport around and stuff. Bonus action, turning yourself into a bolt of lightning and stuff like that. Very useful. You are not going to have your bonus action available as often as you would like, right? There's potions, there's spells that you got to do. There's a bunch of stuff that needs to be done. So, really, your choice.
What does your bonus action economy look like? Odo.
Let's see.
Mostly second wins, I think.
Yeah, second wins, action surge.
Well,
honestly,
a feature, but
oh right.
Yeah. I was gonna say, honestly, if you guys are like undecided and you're like, yeah, both of us are fine to have either one of these. As of now, if any of you two are preferring to have one of these over the other, say so. And if you're both liking the same item, we can just make a roll-off for it. A D100, and in the role play of this, we have, Alondra and Odo maybe have a brief duel, or maybe have a conversation of like, well, I think I might be able to use it better for this or this or this reason, and then the D20, the D100 roll, like, justifies the outcome.
If Alondra wants to charge rapier, I'm okay with it. Just, Odo also would like it. Me as a character, I'm like, the Shadow Wisp is not something that I personally want to see on Odo. Just because it's darker. Yeah.
Shadow Blade. So, are we...
But it's useful, so he can use it.
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of same. I like Alondra would definitely prefer to charge Draper too, but like
okay.
I think she'd be, I guess, a little more comfortable. I mean, the Shadow Wisp is also good, and she like wielded Shadow Blades previously, but again, she's trying to get away from the shadowy.
Right, that's the thing.
That's the vibe. Both of you are doing the same thing. Well, once again, you can be like, we like the charge rapier. We would like something else, please. They might be able to get you something else that is maybe a little simpler. These are like very rare, like powerful things. So if you guys want to, why don't you guys here? Which, by the way, the case is here. Like both of us would like it, but we're too nice to say that I'm gonna take it. So why don't both of you, Zach and Rav, why don't you guys roll me a D100 here, both, and we'll say the higher roll is after either a brief.
If Alondra wants it, she can have it. I'll just take the shadow.
Oh my gosh! Don't do this. Take it to blade if you want it.
I don't want any reason.
One brief comment.
Huh?
I put it in the Discord chat, but whoever takes the rapier, you're going to be Zanishi from now on.
Is that from Demon Hunter?
Oh yeah, it's definitely from Demon. I look at that animation immediately. I was like, "Yep, those are some overworked animators. I know where that is from. I know that is." Very good.
Gaseous
So
form is
charge
pretty
rate.
interesting. Gaseous form.
Gaseous
pretty
form is
interesting.
insane.
Wait,
You
I've
can go
never.
anywhere.
So what's the? Let me look at the spell before.
You can literally go into
So-
anywhere that has a crack. You could just like
And
right
is
in
it
there.
like how does it affect your AC?
Gaseous
Or do you-
form is a third level spell where you become gas. It's not meant to be used like in combat. You
Oh,
use it
gotcha.
and you gain a fly speed of 10 speed, and you can fit through any space gas could fit in. Right? You become like a shadow and you move around. Resistance to a bunch of damages, immunity to the prone condition, blah 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 blah. It's not very much so, I think, meant to be like you can use it in combat, but you don't really need to. It's
No,
more
don't
so
do
like
it.
being sneaky, being sneaky, and then. Yeah, it's got some like interesting stuff. But I think so. Who is this going to? It's charge rapier is then going to who?
Oh,
Alondra.
Okay, Alondra. Zach, you can add into your inventory a +2 rapier that does. Or do you want me to set it up? Huh?
just go for it. Especially with the
I got it?
extra
Okay, I
damage
got
and
it.
stuff.
Yeah, I'll do the math. No worries. That's the
Oh,
charge
also,
rapier, and I'll do the
while
same
you're
here
in
for
there-
you, Odo.
While you're in there, can you adjust it so it uses my intelligence for the
Yes,
attack and
because new
stuff?
blade song, right? Absolutely. Yeah. My God, you have a lot of attacks. Okay. Yeah. And another thing that you might have not thought of immediately there. For Odo here, Rav, that Shadow Blade is a sword. And sword, as a fighter, you get to use its weapon mastery, which is sap, which you might not understand it now, but it's actually amazing for a tank kind of character that you are. Every time you hit someone with that sword from now on, you apply the weapon mastery called sap that just says, next attack this person makes is at a disadvantage, making you kind of unhittable most of the time. Which is nifty.
Just quick question.
let me
Longsword is one-handed, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Longsword is a one-handed weapon, yes. Usually it's a strength-based weapon, but this particular one has the finesse property allowing you to use it with dexterity, yeah?
Wait, how long is the sword? Is it longer than Odo?
It would be at first, but so was every rapier most of the time you picked up. But the moment you attune to it, it will readjust to be exact for your size. That's the thing about magic items. Okay, charge rapier. Bam. And then let me add the lightning. 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 There we go. And then the lightning bolt part of it there, you will just have to remember yourself, Zach, to be like, okay, bonus action, bzz, I go zap. Okay, I put it at the very top of your list there. Okay, excellent, excellent. That's the charge rapier, and let me put Odo's weapon. Rav, do you want me to put in it? Do you want me to
Yes, please.
add it to your inventory? Okay, gotcha. I almost worded that poorly. Yep. Okay, very well. Friends, we have 20k gold. What do we do with it?
20k split between us all, or 20k each?
No, 20k each. You were given
what I
100k gold.
Okay, that's
for
why
finishing
that's
that.
you said 20k.
Well, you
gold, so it's
lucky,
fine.
you get 40k. Get the
Wait, what?
20K.
Poor Alcina.
No eyes at Alcina.
Shared marital assets.
Just, I guess I'm the money bags over here.
Very good, very good. Shadow
I
Wisp
don't know.
plus
You guys are
2
going
for you.
shopping?
Yeah. I figure we
Um,
get some potions and do some stuff and get rested up before we head out. I mean, I'd like to spend the night with my lady before we head out.
Before we all depart, the matter of the house that they want us to establish,
The what?
Mhm.
I don't think-
the den.
Well, they didn't really give us a timeline of when they want us to be
No,
recognized as the dead.
no, it was just like once you sign the name and the members, it'll disappear and go into their registry and become official the following like month.
And for me,
I only
you know,
ask
I'm
because I have things that would benefit from it.
Like right this second?
Well, the month comes around, and a shop that is just sitting by itself is not as profitable as one owned by a den.
I didn't think about it till now, Stephen, but it's been 3 years, right? Would your shop still be occupied?
Mm-hmm. Occupied and running, just not
Have you
running
checked?
as well as I
Oh
would
my
like it.
god, the orphanage! Oh my god, I have to go check it!
So, some years ago, during a downtime, Ayla built an orphanage in the city. It's been a long time.
Nightingale house! You remember I made
The
it?
realization, like, the orphanage! Sorry.
My
That was
god, I
amazing.
hope they didn't run out of money. I didn't think I
Oh my
would
God.
die. You know, I should put money away next time.
that was fantastic.
But
Not the orphanage.
yeah, so the sooner the house gets processed, the more that the business would benefit from it.
I've already sworn over to join Oleos, so I'm not really vested in that. So I will trust your guys' decision.
Jess, real fast, give me a no, actually, never mind. Let me see. I wrote it down. Yeah, you will find a set of. You will be given by Isbill here. My lady, there's been some payments that were sent here from the store, the merchant place, the merchant store that you have opened. Payments that have arrived over the years, and he gives you like the progress report, aka what we talked about, and you see some gold in there that has accumulated. It's much less than you would have thought for a magic shop, but you realize you, as sort of not the enchanter, but like the supplier, the gatherer of these magical artifacts, which the store is kind of about, without you around, business, it sort of got bought out and then fully like barely any business in the upcoming months after, years even. So really strong start, very slow finish.
That's okay, I got capital. And now I just need to put
Do
a name
you with
behind it.
Alondra? Sorry.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
You see, Isabel looks over, sees your ring. Oh, he grabs for his chest. Ladies, you are... My goodness, congratulations. Should we organize a feast? Throw up pamphlets across the city that there'll be a great party?
Oh,
No,
yes,
no,
that would be
no.
great. That would be so fun, wouldn't it? We get to
All
tell
right,
I will
everybody.
send the news for the queen to arrive as well, for everyone to arrive.
But let's maybe wait for the party. Let everybody know, but the party we'll have to do later. You know, we
Very
have
well.
to go to Bazozan and save the world again. You know.
After you save the world, we shall have a great feast for your celebration of union, yes?
Oh yes, yes.
An eternal union under the watchful eye of the Luxon. How beautiful. All right.
All the more reason.
I'm going to go away fully believing that. And he just slowly walks away. As you see, Tizora looks at you both and goes, nice. That's it. Incredible. You guys realize like, okay, we got money to spend. We got these new magical fucking weapons. Let's do something. Let's go spend some money. Let's go prepare. Tomorrow, we fucking save the world again. It's a busy time being a hero, it seems. Okay. For Zach and Rav, I've added your 2 magical weapons into the weapons and armor section. These are very powerful
Thank you.
weapons. These are both incredibly powerful weapons. Okay. Excellent. As you guys head on out, this is the part of D&D, friends, where we do math. We do math of how much stuff costs that we would like to buy. Now, a lot of magic stuff is kind of drained out of the city here. A lot of magic items are gone. People have bought up stuff. Like sergeants and officers and captains of different armies are like battalions are buying weapons and being sent to them by the sort of like the kingdom. So there's not a lot of options left out there. So as you guys go out shopping that evening, guess to spend some of the money you've made, which 20K, a lot of fucking money, yeah. We're going to end the session here for tonight. Rather than doing a bunch of math here that we need to sort of like add a bunch of stuff to everyone's inventory and stuff, I would like you guys, if you're interested throughout the week, to just shoot a little message either here in the chat or to me in private messages of like, hey Jay, here's the stuff, give me the price. So that way we can sort of settle all that out of the game and then pick up the following day. Follow this evening, perhaps, if there's any conversations or RP to be done. We can always also do it in the text RP chat. And when we pick up next week, and I swear it on the gods, it will be next week this time, we are going to head straight to Bazazan, into the open maw of hell itself, as malice and deceit, blood of the Spider Queen, spews out to devour us once more. So friends, that said... Oh, what was that, Will?
Typically, it'd be the abyss.
Technically, it's funny, in this Exandria world here, Matt Mercer has a different time used Abyss and Hell, but it's sort of quantified them as like the same kind of a place. So Avernus in this world still has demons and devils fighting each other, but not because demons are space aliens coming from a different dimension and devils are fallen angels. It's a lot more kind of congealed together. They still don't like each other, but they're kind of part of the same faction. It's a little different. So, yes, Abyss or Hell are kind of believed to be like a similar, but not exactly the same place where evil things that serve evil gods come from. Kind of. So, yes. Everyone, thank you so much for gaming.
Quickly, 2 things. So, real quick,
Yes?
before we go, I would like to go to the vault that we have here and do the demiplane to put the Silken Spite away. So
yes, in the secret room over here, there's a little, like a moose head. You pull on a horn and it opens a little secret room back here, where you can do a little demiplane and leave the Silken Spite in there. Gotcha.
Oh goodness, that
I
acts
will
on my
note that
bathroom.
down.
And then a section.
Shard of Infinite Evil right
Oh,
next to
goodness.
you taking a relaxing bath. What is that evil radiating from this wall?
Yeah. Don't worry, it's in a demiplane.
Lotus gonna be watching me in the bathtub.
And it's like, well, I can't make it next week, just so you know. So.
All right, all good. Understandable. If it ends up to someone else, I think the plan is we'll still play, but if someone else also can't make it, then we have to like try a reschedule or like week after or something like that.
Just putting it out there.
Okay.
That my birthday is on January 15th, which lands on the Thursday.
Oh,
you all better
birthday
be
section.
here. You all better be here. And you
Hell
too,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Jay.
good. I've been good for
Yeah,
every
I'm
Thursday.
good.
just
No,
not
absolutely.
this one, coming one.
I will fight. I will fight with all I can. I've been wanting to get us back on like regular scheduled Indie, and every time I'm like, this time for sure, and then some cosmic entity shits on me. So I'm hoping I'm okay now. I hope I changed internet providers. I hope I wasn't laggy or anything throughout the whole session or anything. It seemed fine on my end.
Just
Okay,
heads up, I
good,
can't make the
good.
29th.
Yep. Oh, okay. 29th. Understood. So
Right.
next week is a maybe as long as 4 people, the rest of you
Oh, I'm
guys
here
other than
next week.
Zach can make it. And the 29th is as long as everyone but Orav can make it.
And I'll definitely be here the
Under
15th. I'll make sure.
15th. Hell yeah. All right. So, very cool. Thank you all for playing. I'm very excited to continue this next week. A lot of RP, a lot of intense moments. Talking about allegiances, talking about friendships, talking about love and bugs. A lot of fun. A lot of fun this session.
If
Everyone,
sorry.
have a great week. Oh, yeah.
If it's okay with Will, I might have a little RP text thing going on between Odo and Talion later.
I was just thinking
Ooh,
the same thing.
yes.
Well, I'm sorry, Will, what was that?
Hell yes, guys.
I was just thinking about doing the same thing.
Excellent. Excellent.
Hell yes. Hell yes. All right, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. Hey, guys. Thank you for hanging out and playing D&D. This last year we've been playing together has really been one of the most fun times I've had playing D&D. You guys are an incredibly witty, clever, funny, and absolutely broken bullshit group that I've ever played with. And I can't wait for some more sessions with you guys. It's been a good time.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
So yeah,
Same here.
that's all I wanted to say. Happy New Year's to you guys. Take care of yourselves. I will catch you all in a few days. Some of you in Taldore. Dun,
Yes.
dun, dun. All right. Everyone, peace out and good night from me. Bye.
Night.
Night.
Later.
Bye.
Okay, everyone, that was our Wildemoun campaign. Thanks for hanging out. Lou, congrats on your shiny. Happy New Year's to everyone. And yeah, I think it's going to turn it off here. And we'll be back on Sunday for the Taldori campaign. I'm going to try and stream a game this week, maybe. I'm hoping. I'd like to stream more games. I've just got to find a game I can stream that I don't have to pay attention to. All right. Love you all. Happy New Year. Have a great week. For those of us who have to work tomorrow, have a good work day. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.